definitely the least exciting zone of the war within. I
How
wish I
far to
had
go?
incentive to explore more of it on
Video
foot,
games.
honestly, as I think I would have enjoyed it more.
Woo.
But having Dragonflight available,
I have to do that
dynamic
because Haka's
flying
not going to be in
available
for this.
right out of the gate means I spent a lot of time zooming from town to town and almost no time happily getting lost. I don't know. Dorne is fine, I guess. It's a greenish island with some mountains and caves and forests and dwarven architecture, and a good chunk of the space is given up
You
to the new
excited for
capital
WoW
city,
expansion?
Dornegal. All of the biggest, most exciting backdrops that Blizzard has teased for the War Within are located deep underground in Khazalgar, the expansion's surprising new vertical, not horizontal series of zones. Blizzard has mentioned a massive Titan industrial complex, an ancient Nerubian city, and a subterranean cavern lit by a massive crystal sun.
Everything
I
looks
want to go
like it's
there.
working good. Kick, Odyssey, F.
I also ran a dungeon.
I'm not going to bother using my VTuber live model because people are going to just call in. I like the setup I have now. Hopefully it works properly.
It was just fine. There's a fight where you have to jump into a pit when you get hit by lightning, and another where a big guy pops out of some water and dumps darkness.
So I've elected to have just my avatar, my Discord avatar on reactive, so that when people pop in, it just auto populates, and I don't have to fight with fight with my model size and VTube Studio and shit. So I've just gotten lazy. Also, I got rid of names because I'm sick and tired of fucking resizing names every 2 seconds. Uber, 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 pour in, Uber, pour in, Uber, pour in. Okay, there we go.
Hey, what's up, man?
Fuck me, I gotta redo the sizing again. Shit. I can't win.
Oh, you're Boogie, all right.
Well, the resizing thing is like OBS transform and stuff, and I figured this one was gonna be the one that works. So let's see, edit transform, scale to height. Doesn't do anything. Scale to width. Whatever, I don't care.
Anyway, we watched the IGN one. Does that have something else? Does it have the Xbox showcase?
I'm not watching the IGN. I'm watching the Gamescom.
Yeah, but I see the IGN logo in the top right.
Because IGN runs Gamescom. They literally own it.
I see. Because I'm on Twitch for the Xbox showcase.
But the Xbox showcase is Gamescom.
Yeah, they really didn't explain this well.
No. Let me explain it. I understand it. Okay, IGN owns Gamescom. You got me?
Yeah.
Okay, the Gamescom presentation is going to be the Xbox presentation.
I see.
Okay, it's literally all the same thing, and everyone is just streaming their own POV of it, which is literally the same feed.
Right.
It's literally the fucking streaming. It's literally the streaming platform problem.
Yeah. Also, I'm gonna see which stream is ahead. Okay, the Xbox stream for me is at least 20 seconds ahead of the Gamescom stream, which is interesting.
I really don't care about the timing shit and stuff. This is getting old right now. I'm just sticking to the one, like the main Gamescom thing, and I don't care where everyone's at.
Yeah, I think you might have to consider doing, watching the same. What do you call that? You know, the YouTube activity, right? So at least we're all watching the same live stream there.
What I'm going to do is copy and paste the link I'm watching, and whether you elect to watch it or not, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
Supporians in the waiting room.
All right, because this here is like hurting a bunch of cats, and I really don't give a shit. Like, we have like so many different ways to watch shit right now. Everyone watches the best version that they want to, and I'm not going to babysit you guys.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, paste that, stream chat, paste. All right, drag Porian in. All right. I'm still just fighting with the stupid fucking capture reactive group element. Fucking piece of shit.
Brian, say something? I heard you, but it was like very, very faint.
Yeah, it was like a blip. Porian can't win with his sound setup because yesterday he was still super deep, super pitched down.
I think like, if I'm not mistaken, he has the best audio setup out of all of us, like the most expensive one.
It's either him or fucking YT. And even still, no one escapes the curse that is audio balancing in engineering. Much like how I can't escape this fucking OBS element. Because, okay, you see, if you're watching the stream, you can see how our Fugis are clipping into the above element and stuff. And I'm trying to get this, like, I have like the Fugi window size perfectly to that there, and I need the Fugis to stick in that fucking window. But if I do the scale to inner bounds, we're fucking tiny as shit. I don't get it.
Alright, let me see what this is all about. Let's see what the settings are. Already authorized Fogi. Why is it asking me to? Oh, I see.
Well, no. I'm not I'm not manipulating any of these options in the Fugi web browser option. This is literally OBS.
Yeah, I know you're dragging the, what do you call this? The scene, but the source. Yeah, it's just,
Yeah, but
I don't
when
think
you're
there's anything you can do
yeah,
about
but
that.
like you know this, when you're in OBS and you have a source on the screen, you can make a box, and I want the
Yeah,
box, like the stuff in the box, to stay in the fucking box. And it's not, and all the bounding box types in the transform function is not letting me do any of it, and it's driving me up the fucking wall. Like no bounds resizes the box itself, which I don't want because I like the box the way it is. It's frustrating, man. It's frustrating. I want technology to work.
I'm gonna test this out. Like, I have Boogie like open in my OBS. I'm just see what happened when Porian joins.
Graph 2 bounding box doesn't work. That just cuts off my head. Speaking of Porian, nope, still don't see him.
Yeah, he's just fixing his audio stuff right now.
I Porian, if you're still listening, I would honestly just reboot your computer at this point because honestly, that's like the nuclear option. It does it. Hey, we've had that resolve issues in the past, so why wouldn't it work? It's not working now. Position alignment bottom center. No, I want to keep my bottom centers. Stretch to bounds? Nope. Scale to inner? Nope. Scale to outer? Same as width. Scale to width. Scale to height. Maximum size only. Fuck it. Width. I don't care anymore. I'll deal with it later. I really don't want to futz around with this. I'm currently theory crafting Path of Exile again. So I'm kind of just watching, waiting for like the mainstream to start.
Oh yeah, speaking of Path of Exile, Jelly's interesting in playing it.
I've said this before and I say it again. It is the best ARPG of all time, and I fucking hate the Tencent bought it. That's like the that's
Maybe
like
it's
that's the
precisely that because of that.
it's precise. Well, no, it's okay. It's the best ARPG because it's literally like the best system, like giant passive tree and Materia magic system done. But I remember the four times. I remember like granting your games when they were an independent company before the 10-cent stake ownership magically went from 50 to 51%.
Yeah. Okay.
Unfortunately,
Actually, I'll be right back. Right, I need to grab something to eat.
yeah, sure. Hmm. Foogie's on screen. I really should try to futz around with this. A quick pick in Discord. Pouring not back. No one else. Okay. Control E. Transform. What if I select center? Nope. Hmm. It's not so fun when it's just two people because it just crops. It just goes over into the top element. As soon as it's three, then it starts scaling down into the box. I really wish it would scale to inner bounds properly and not just go fucking tiny. I just can't win. Just cannot fucking win. Okay, whatever. Have chat in focus and go back into my Path Exile mulling of items. What do I got? 14 minutes? 14 minutes. Ooh. Let's see, what are we doing? Kick 5 people, Odyssey 21. Man, you guys must have very boring days. Be like ass o'clock in the morning watching me watch a stream while I off camera play Path of Exile. Yeah. Hopefully Porin resolves his audio issues and Uber comes back so at least the three of us can have a chitter chatter going on. At least I know how the current ladder mechanics now works in PoE. So I want to keep the Zenlar name, so I'm nuking one of my old characters. It's on standard ladder. Go to the current ladder. Alright. Should have everything good to go. Don't think I need to mule anything immediately in terms of gems. Double check my inventory. Cosmetics are turned off or disabled, so I can use those cosmetics on the new guy, and I think I'm good to go. Zenlar shall be reborn on the Settlers League. I'll quadruple check just to make sure I don't have any items before I nuke that character. Everything should be off by now. Links in the kick check are old. I just literally posted today's kick, not today's kick. I posted today's stream link into the kick chat. I shall post it again just in case it didn't show up. It's the QUBW3R VW1UL. That is the stream I'm watching, which is literally the Gamescom YouTube channel. I literally posted the link as the stream started, so I don't know why the chat history wasn't showing it for you, but I guess we're good to go. Thank you for mentioning it, though. And for sake of paranoia, I'm going to post it again in the Odyssey one. That is the stream I'm watching. Although I don't think they've disabled chat yet. Nope, they're still going. Chat is still going. Fuck.
All right, I'm back.
Hello.
Anything interesting?
Not really. I'm just
Anything?
I'm just chatting about my path of exiling. Oh, it looks like Porian's back.
All right, I'm gonna see what this looks like in. Okay. I'm looking at this in my OBS as well, just to see.
I'm not paying super close attention to the countdown, so yell at me when we get closer to 0 so I can unmute the stream. Also, Porian, I can't hear you if you're talking.
It was working fine yesterday, so what happened?
I don't know. Like I say, audio, everything is fucking black magic at this point. It doesn't matter how good your tech is or how knowledgeable you are in things. There's literally a ghost in the machine. Like, for example, this morning, my audio and OBS wasn't working and stuff. So I went into fucking Sonar, and it was like, okay, changed a couple of things, went back to OBS, added like the overall Sonar stream thing, which has not worked for me up until now. Now it works, and all the other ones don't work. So I don't know. Black magic.
It happens to me as well. Like sometimes when I launch OBS, my mic won't pick up, but it does so after I disable and re-enable my mic in the sound settings,
I
or
know.
if I boot up Sonar. Like even though Sonar is minimized, and I just have to boot it up manually to get it to work again.
I like Sonar, I really do, but it doesn't talk well with OBS sometimes. It seems to be working now, but the individual elements doesn't seem like you know how Sonar has like the mic output, chat output, blah 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 blah, but there's also the stream output. Up until now, I've never gotten stream output to work, and now it seems to be the only thing working. So I don't know.
I don't know. The world of technology is strange.
As Porian is living proof of this right now. Although I'm trying to rack my brain, what the fuck? Because like I remember Haka was having an issue yesterday, and it was literally just him ticking a box in Discord.
Hey, what? I don't remember. What issue did he have exactly?
That's what I'm trying to remember. It's on tip of my brain. It was a Discord issue that Haka was having yesterday. So I'm just wondering if Porian's having the same issue, but the exact detail is eluding me right now. Oh, well, it looks like he's trying again. 5-ish minutes. Okay. I just hate it because my okay, I have the stream on my notebook screen, and my notebook is like on the shelf on my like little wire rack thing, but like the lip of the top uh shelf of the wire rack is just cutting off the number, so I have to shift my head to see it. Discord picture. Yeah, but let me show you my thing with that. Let's see.
Yeah.
Sources and
I think the resizing thing is just like inherent to Fugi. I don't think there's anything you can do about that.
I
You just have
really
to.
I really don't think it's a Fugi thing. I really think it's an OBS thing. Let's see. Save Discord post upload file screenshot. Fucking big ass screen picture. Okay, so the bounding box I have, that's like I have like my browser element on top, like like the stream,
Ah, I see.
and then I have the bounding box for the group Fugi there, and it's sized perfectly to fit in there, but like the Fugis themselves will cut out. Like right now, I currently have it like transform scale to width, and that's why I wanted to do width, but I wanted it to scale into the bounding box size. So like just watch the stream, watch my stream for a second. I'll go through all the different permutations of it.
Just
Let's see.
watching now.
Okay, so edit transform. Okay, no bounds. Undo that. Let's see. Undo, I said. Okay, there we go. Control E. Okay. Scale, stretch to bounds has us squished. Scale to inner bounds has us a fucking tiny. Now, scale to inner bounds is my go-to for everything, and normally it works, but in this particular instance, it doesn't. Let's see.
See, that's let me see. Let me see what I have it set as.
Scale to outer bounds does this. Scale to width is the same thing, and scale to height is the small thing again. And maximum size only is the same thing. Like what I want the Fugi images to do is, go as wide as you can, but stay inside the fucking box. And there's
Yeah. See,
and
all I did was set it to my max resolution and just popped in the link, and that's it.
uh
See what I did? Like I just set it to
oh, I
my
think
resolution.
no, I think I have an idea. You just saying that did me a brain blast. Let's see, 360.
Because I didn't choose any transformation options. I just popped in my resolution.
So like max resolution as like let me see, right click.
Yeah,
Let me let's
max
see.
resolution, and then resize it to where I want it.
920 by 1080. Okay, let's see. Control E. 920.
So we have 90 seconds before it starts on my end.
Unmute.
We got to look at Hatshepsut of
Okay.
Egypt, Amina of Zazao, the natural leader for Aksum, Augustus of Rome, and Ashoka of the Maurya.
Okay, I think I'm making progress
on
on
the
this.
diplomatic screen, both of the negotiating
Hang on,
leaders
be right
are
back.
now shown interacting, which adds a nice bit of dramatic flair.
Veni, gladia vostra nostro muro franghite.
Diplomacy has also been greatly reworked from Civ 6. Influence is now a baseline currency produced by certain buildings, and you spend it on direct actions that target another Civ. Firaxis wants to reduce the emphasis on transactional horse trading type diplomacy, so every time you do something diplomatically, it's more of a specific jab or handshake that you're engaging in. Influence also has a fairly low cap and is use it or lose it, encouraging you to engage in diplomacy regularly.
Niche Amina. Saronia Amina.
One really interesting example of this was a treaty Amina kept hitting me with
the sizes
when we were
and the
on
browser
less than
element
great
sizes
terms, which would cause
was the
my
hang up.
relationship with my BFF Augustus to deteriorate.
So it's working a bit better, but
it works for me.
Even larger
no, like
to counter.
thanks to you mentioning it, I figured out what the underlying issue with the stuff is. Literally just futzing around with the browser window sizes and this.
The other really great twist with influence is that you can spend it during a war to increase your side's
it just
war support,
started for me,
works
and
kind
it's
of like a diplomatic.
well. Do you want me to tell you what's going on,
if
or
one side has invested
just
a
want to
lot
wait
more
for you to see it?
influence than the
My
other
stream
into
has
war
like
support,
15 seconds
the side
left. I can
with
wait.
less will suffer scaling penalties to combat effectiveness and happiness in their cities. So diplomacy is
We're
now
going to be
key
dealing with
to
this,
the
so I really
military
don't care
game
about
as
the these things.
which I love.
Yeah, that's why I think like that's why I suggested like opening something like the YouTube activity or something like Rabbit, and then just so that we're all on the same page.
That's more effort than I'm willing to put in, dude.
Gamescom has begun.
Hello, everybody.
It's the biggest gaming event in the world, and Gamescom Studio is your one-stop destination for all the excitement.
It's awesome to be here at Gamescom.
Coming up today, some of the most anticipated games like Monster Hunter Wilds, Avowed.
You want to drag Porian in,
Civilization
or
7.
no, wait for him?
Plus, looks ahead at what's next for games that already have us hooked, like Diablo 4
Porian
and
speak.
Starship Troopers Extermination. Plus, we'll take a look at what's happening around the Gamescom show floor, bringing you sights, sounds, and maybe some surprises. So get ready, because Gamescom Studio, live on IGN, starts right now.
Hello and welcome to IGN's live coverage of Gamescom 2024, the biggest video game convention in the world. I'm your
Okay, I
host,
think I
Stella
have the
Chung,
setting
along with
finally
Matt
set.
Scoville and Brian Altano. Welcome to Gamescom, guys.
Welcome to Gamescom. The Gamescom floor is
Small
officially
victories.
open for the next
I
4
won.
days.
I won
IGN
mine,
will
and
bring
Porian
you
lost his.
non-stop coverage of everything going on here, right in Cologne, Germany. We'll have interviews with game developers, voice actors, and the people working on the coolest upcoming and ongoing games.
But
Plus,
we
we'll
want
also be
you,
showing
Porian.
around the absolutely massive Gamescom show floor.
Also, how long do these usually go for? I'm not sure.
Probably
I don't
something
fucking
really
know.
wild, like a 70-foot tall dragon.
This is
that's
like the
fighting a
first time I'm
tank,
watching this
or maybe
shit.
just like a regular-sized construction.
I'm gonna check
vehicle
their channel.
that's, there to promote a very specific.
You're not going
game
to learn
about doing
anything, but I'm
construction.
calling it now.
Probably. It's all happening here at Gamescom. Lots
No,
of
like
stuff.
the length usually gives you a
There
good
will
idea
also
of how
be
long.
Definitely
Let's see.
tons of surprises you won't want to miss. Brand new gameplay trailers.
I think it's going to be
exclusive
going on
reveals,
all day
and
between
more.
this and
hey,
like I think the
biggest video
future
game event
the
on
future
planet
thingies
also
going on today
cares
too.
about
Okay,
the
seems to be
Thanks to the
2 to
Gamescom
3
Virtual
hours.
Initiative, Gamescom runs on 100% renewable energy in addition to participating.
Oh,
Because I
fuck
see,
off.
like, day
Oh, fuck
one,
off
day
your
two.
green energy crap.
Exhibitors are also doing their part by building more sustainably, reusing portions of their booths, and avoiding single-use material.
It's quite amazing. The Gamescom force continues to grow, and more trees have been planted thanks to donations from attendees. You can find out more about Gamescom.
Okay, that was Stalker right there.
And find out how to do your part at Gamescom.global. And speaking of global, if you can't make it to Germany this week, don't worry, because Gamescom has actually gone worldwide. Gamescom Asia will be taking place in Singapore October 17th to 20th, and tickets are on sale now. The first ever Gamescom Latam took place in Brazil back
Let's
in
see what
June,
shirt he's
and
wearing
was
this
a huge
time. Okay, he's
success.
wearing Doom
So
the Dark
much so that
Ages.
it's actually
Interesting.
returning back in 2025.
All right, I'm excited to go back there. As for
Oh,
what's
shit, I
happening
forgot you were
today,
behind.
Right here, though, we've got
I'm
Dragon
just
Ball
checking from the
Sparking
Latam
Zero
mention.
up next, followed by a look at Diablo 4's Vessel of Hatred expansion.
Yeah,
and
just
later on, Monster
Spencer's
Hunter
on
Wilds
screen
and
right now,
Starship
so.
Troopers
Ah.
Extermination.
Yeah, and if you think that's
Because
a lot, that's
Yeah,
just
well,
Last
well-
time he was
here in the
wearing
studio. So
he was wearing a
let's see
Hexen
what's
shirt, and everyone was
happening
like
on the show floor.
theory crafting, like, oh, is
Oi,
this
oi,
just
and
going to be a
welcome to
remaster or
Gamescom
something?
2024. We're going to be out
Hexen
here
was a good
on
game.
the show floor today, checking out some amazing stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to have a look at
I think
India,
Hexen 2
Great
aged much better,
Circle.
honestly.
Later, X marks the spot. We're going to
I haven't
have a
played either in
fantastic look
ages.
around this quite frankly, massive Xbox booth. And then later on, when the sun goes down, as does the Dying Light, we're going to take a look at Dying Light, The Beast, the new game, announced last night at ONL. So it's going to be a good time, I think. I think you should stick with us, really.
Dragon Ball fans are counting down the days to the release of Sparking Zero, and last night we got a brand new trailer celebrating the fact that it is only
Dragon Ball
50
mentioned
days
Haka's
away,
gonna
but I
be
guess that's
summoned even though he's
49
tapped
now.
out.
Here to answer some of our burning questions about Sparking Zero is the game's producer, Jun Furutani, and Mark.
No worry, he'll get his
Translator.
time to shine in the
Welcome.
Latam show.
People are really excited for this game. People are extremely hyped for it.
Yeah, but the
trailer
Latam
looks
show
awesome.
already happened.
There's one
We'll
specific
have to
shot
wait for
that
next
I'm
year.
gonna call out that people have a lot of questions about.
And
There's a
like
bit
8
where
months.
Mr. Satan
Or whatever.
Hercule
I don't
is
know.
running away from what appears to be Vegeta in his giant Uzuru ape form. How does that fit into the gameplay? Because I feel like the rest of the battles are pretty straightforward. It looks like a fight in Dragon Ball. We get it. This is kind of one-sided. Where just, I guess, some context, both in terms of maybe story or maybe gameplay.
まあ、ここに見えるように前のトレーラーでこういうサタンが悟空かベゲタのゴリラフォームから逃げてるところがあるんですけど、まあ、別のトレーラーの別の部分はまあファイトとかそういうのは分かるんですけど、これはちょっと何ですかって、まあ、ストーリーとかゲームプレイに関してこれはどうやってゲームのに入っていますかって。
そうですね、これは普通に対戦のワンシーンを切り取った映像にはなっています。かなりサタンなんかは空を飛べないキャラクター、武空術ができないキャラクターになっているので、地面をこのように走るような形で、動くことができるキャラクターになっています。それを奥から大猿が接近して攻撃を畳みかけているっていうワンシーンをちょっと切り取ったシーンになりますので、お客さんの中でもプレイしている中でまさにこういうちょっとリアルに本当に逃げ回ってるシーンみたいなことはリアルタイ
For
ム
a
で
second there, I
起こ
thought
り
the
得るものとして
Ozaru was the
こちら
fucking mech.
見ていただければと思います。
So this is actually a battle scene? Because you know, you can play Mr. Saturn and Mr. Saturn can fly.
I know, giant
so
monkey armor.
Obviously, you know, if you're trying to get away from your opponent, then he has to run. And this is basically a character of Saturn running away from Vegeta, who's trying to attack him.
I think running is probably a good solution in that scenario. The other thing that people have really latched onto is there's a brief glimpse of Goku wearing his Yardrat outfit, which I don't know. I think people are really excited about the prospect of character customization, different outfits. It's already a massive roster. Can you talk a little bit about sort of different outfits or accessories?
まあもう一つのシーンはその悟空がヤートレットの服を着てるんですけど、まあ大きいロスターなんですけど、そのロスターの中にやっぱそういうカスタマイズがあるっていうのはファンが結構嬉しくて、そのコスチュームとかについてもうちょっと教えてもらえますか。そうですね、
結構悟空のこの衣装とかってその原作のストーリーの中でもやっぱり出てきていた衣装だったりもするので、今回お客さんの方でもこのような衣装の状態で戦っていただく、遊んでいただけるような形で実装させていただいています。それまだお伝えできないキャラクターだったり、お伝えできない衣装とかあるんですけど、まだ他にも
My instinct kicked in. I was looking for
原作で
subtitles.
登場した衣装で遊んでいただけるようなものはございます。
Wait, let me have your stream
So
up here.
basically, I mean, this is a scene from the story. This is an outfit.
I recognize this dude. I think he's. I forgot his name. He's one of the IGN dudes, I think.
As much as possible.
Probably.
The guy in the black shirt.
Costumes for multiple characters. We cannot go too much into the details right now. We're sorry about that, but certain characters will have multiple costumes to choose from.
Glad to hear it. That's very exciting.
Oh, hang on a moment. We're watching two complete different things.
I want the Piccolo and the.
Because I'm watching these girls interview Spencer right now. You're watching the Dragon Ball thing. Just click on your link then.
Big thing is obviously the fighting game community.
I'm here to watch Gamescom. That's okay. You have to remember this is like a giant fuck off like little convention right now and stuff. There's a multiple POVs, but I'm watching like the main one. I'm not gonna bounce around for like a million different ones.
That's the thing, because the Xbox one, like me and Porin were looking forward to the Xbox one because it has Stalker 2 in it. So I don't know if they're gonna do that in the main show as well.
It's a major headliner. They have to.
So I guess I'm gonna have both streams open at the same time.
らしさ、ドラゴンボール的な体験をすぐ楽しんでいただきたいなということを念頭に作っている作品になります。なのでキャラクターごとに全員が共通して同じ強さであるっていうのではなくて、原作で描かれていたようなその強いキャラクターはより強く、なかなか苦戦したキャラクターはちょっと苦戦を強いられるような、そういった形でキャラクターの強さっていうのは調整させていただいていますので、基本的にはそのような
Just pretend you're watching multiple streams of VTubers.
まさにそのキャラクターになりきる体験というか、キャラクターが
Holodex.
より自分が強ければ
Holodex for a game convention.
というところを本当にキャラクターになりきって遊んでいただけたらなというふうには思っています。 プラスであるんですけど、ちょっと一旦ここまでで。
So, first part of the answer. I mean, there are other Dragon Ball games where they have a like very good balancing that is important, and for esports,
Does this
there are
work?
characters that are well balanced.
Holy shit, he lives.
It does. Hello, point. How you doing?
You know, enjoying being a character.
I could have
So in
less
this
audio
game,
issues.
you know,
I
strong
would prefer to
characters
have
are
less of them.
stronger, and you
Did
can
you figure out
play
what it was?
Plugged in.
strong and,
I literally dug from
characters that are weaker
ammo
in the story
crate
are
to
also
find
weaker,
my
and you
old
can enjoy gameplay
Rock
when
Band
you
USB
struggle more
microphone.
and it's a little more challenging. So
What the
the focus
fuck?
is different. It's not really balancing
uh,
and having a fair esports
It's
fight,
because
but
I
more
restarted my
about, you know,
computer.
being
This
the
is why I
character,
don't
being
turn
the
the
story.
computer off when I go to sleep, dude. Whenever you
そ
turn
の
off your
上で一応
computer,
キ
something
ャラクター
fucks
ご
up.
とにコスト
Never
制
turn
コ
off
ス
the
トみたい
computer.
なものが割り振られていまして、強いキャラは多くコストを消費して、弱いなかなか苦戦したようなキャラクターたちは少し少なめのコストに
Yeah,
なる。
yes.
その一定の
Sarka
コス
is
トの上限
correct.
の中
We are in
で
the Mexican
チームを
section
組ん
of
でいく
Gamescom.
っていうような遊び方をすることができる。
Warren, by the way, if you're looking for stock too, it's going to be in the Xbox stream, most likely. Because there's multiple POVs.
Yeah, I don't get it. Are they streaming at the same time or are...
Yeah, me and Zen are watching two different things. But I have both streams open just to see what's going on.
I should probably paste the fucking. Can you do me a favor and paste the Xbox link just so anyone who wants to watch it can?
Now, obviously, games have changed a lot.
Sure
since
thing,
last
right here.
Aichi.
I have it
Can you talk a
bookmarked
little bit
somewhere,
about
but since you have it open, you
how
can just
Sparking Zero has
right click
kind
and
of
paste.
modernized
I'm actually watching on
old
Twitch. Here's the
experience,
Twitch
like,
link.
What will
Whatever.
longtime players
Because
immediately find
Twitch one seems to be
familiar,
20 seconds
and
ahead for me.
what's something new that might
Yeah,
surprise them
the
just in terms
latency
of
is
how
so
it
much
plays?
better on Twitch
前のゲームを
when
結
it comes
構
to
前
this
に入れ
shit.
たんだから、まあ、その時のファンが今の新しいスパーキングゼロをゲームする時には、あ、これは昔のようだと考えるところとか、あ、これは新しいなという考えるところが、そこら辺はどうですか？
そうですね、おっしゃる通りシリーズ作品になっていて、
It shows that the Game Pass is killing Xbox. At least be honest about it.
時間が空いてしまっている。だからこそ、
Yeah, they're
我々
not.
としてはそのシリーズならでは
There
の
is the
アクショ
whole
ン性、ゲーム
speculation
性、
whether we'll
あと
get
バトルシステムというところ
a
は基本的
real
には踏襲を
Xbox
するような
next
形でやっていき
generation,
ます
and I'm starting to believe the whole like there's just gonna be like a Steam Deck, like
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. People were saying, yeah, it's just gonna be a Game Pass machine unhandled.
Yeah, because man, like my friend, he's like one of the smartest people I know, and he's like really successful, and he knows like molecular biology and shit. But he has like the computer skills of my dead grandma. So he's never used a computer in his life. He's the world's biggest Xbox fan. So he has the latest one, whatever the fuck it is. I don't know. It's not the one. It's whatever's the one after. And I go to his house and I play it, and it's like, wow, this is just a fucking low-end PC at this point. Like, there's no point in buying this piece of shit. You can buy an equivalent PC for the same amount of money at this point. Like, why even sell these? And they're big as fuck. They're as big as a small PC as well, and they get hot as fuck. They throttle from the heat. Like, what's the point in this garbage?
Yeah, the same problem with the PlayStation as well. It's always an airport when you play something.
Oh, I did find like a really sick thing when I was like looking through secondhand things, and that was a PC case for an Xbox 360. Like you mount your Xbox 360 parts inside of a PC case to cool it better. And dude, well, back when I had my fucking white fat Xbox 360, I would have loved that fucking case because that shit overheated constantly. Like I would turn off from the heat 4 times a day playing fucking Fallout New Vegas, 16 hours a day.
Or you can like warp or like it's vanish assault we call it, like when you immediately teleport to the enemy and then can attack and stuff like that. So we increased things that we know from the Dragon Ball universe that weren't in the previous
Okay, so
game
Gamescom is just IGN. The
more
official Gamescom
accessible
is just IGN then,
and
I
a better
guess.
experience.
Awesome.
Well,
I'm dying to find out more.
Gamescom is
Dragon Ball
owned
Sparking
and
Zero is
run
out
by
October
IGN,
11th on
so
Xbox,
we
PlayStation,
figured
and
like
PC.
that would be
Right
the
now,
same
though, there is
stream.
lots more Gamescom Studio coming up.
You
live
know
on
what?
IGN, so
Somehow
stick around.
that had completely escaped my mind.
It's got Gamescom by IGN. That's been the marketing.
I entirely missed this.
Hello and welcome to Gamescom 2024. I am
Wow,
Simon
that makes
Cardy
sense.
with Matt Purslow for IGN, and we have seen an extended look at Indiana Jones and the Great Circle gameplay, a full 15 minutes, couple of different
I
levels.
remember
a little look
Indiana
around some
Jones.
of the
You remember
mechanics.
Indiana Jones? I
And
remember Indiana
I think
Jones.
so far, you'd be expecting from Machine Games something
Yeah,
that has
last
the
good
essence of
movie
a bit
came
of
out in, like,
Riddick. a bit of
1987.
Wolfenstein in there, which you're
Yep.
definitely getting in Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. But I think the surprise we got is there's quite a bit of the Hitman games in this, not only
New
in some of the stealth
Xboxes
systems, but the way the levels themselves are designed.
with like the mid
Yeah, so as we
life
know,
cycle
kind of like
upgrade.
Indy
is
does
coming,
disguise
apparently.
himself in the films to get into certain areas, and we're actually seeing a bit of that in the mechanics of the game. So there will be areas that are off limits, and you'll have to get a disguise, very much like Agent 47.
Brian,
You'll
which
go
one are
in
you
there
watching
and
right
there
now?
are Actual
The
enemies
Xbox
that you
One.
have to be wary of
Ah,
because
okay,
they
good.
might be able to see
I have
through
both
your
open, so I'm
disguise.
just gonna just
And then
click
as
through
you're
both of
walking through
them.
those areas,
I'm mainning the
you kinda gotta
Xbox
do
one as well.
stuff that
Same.
makes you
Like
seem
it-
like you're part of them. You know, you might
The
want to have to
regular Gamescom
pour
one
a
says
bottle
two
of
fat
wine
dudes
in one
talking about
instance
Indiana
to make sure
Jones.
that the Nazis don't think that you're anything more than a humble waiter.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I
some of
could
my
be
favourite
completely
parts of
schizophrenic because I
the
do
Indiana
have
Jones. I'm a huge
two
fan of the films. I just love how
browser sources
funny
set
they
up.
are,
I could
especially
be
in the
running
last
both
Crusade,
screens at
where
the same time.
Indy himself
I think
disguises
people would
himself
probably
as a
lynch me for that.
Nazi, mistakenly gets really
Ah,
close to
I mean,
Hitler and gets into
Appeal to the
side
numbers.
It's
You
a
might
very
have to
funny
turn down
moment.
the
Don't know
audio
if we'll get
so
any
it's
of
not
that
like full
quite in the
volume,
game. But yeah, as you said, I like the
rooms at
disguised
the same
elements that
time,
we've
but-
seen so far. There's one bit where he's just
The first thing they showed off was
remember
Forza
in
Horizon
the back
5.
of the
This
seat
is
to
probably
sneak
some
into areas he
DLC or
shouldn't
something.
be. I just love that element of it, that sneak into areas.
I guess
and
it's one
there's
of
a good
those
level of stealth to this game, which is kind
games
of
that
what I
just
want,
sell like
because
a ton,
the
but I
Uncharted
never think
games,
about it
which are
ever.
obviously inspired by Tomb Raider, which in turn
Yeah, like
inspired
people
by
who
Indiana
enjoy it.
Jones. Very gun
Yeah,
heavy.
like
they
cool
don't
I'm
get
glad
the
they do,
more action hero
because
They
approach
look,
to
they
Nathan
always
Drake,
look really,
whereas I kind of
really,
like that
really
this is
good.
more India's
So yeah,
plot.
Forza is in
He's
the
a proper
graphics
stealth
department is a
mode,
10
so
out
he's
of
not a
10,
super
honestly.
soldier.
Yeah,
And we're getting
definitely.
that, and that's not to say that there isn't
And,
combat.
I-
in
and
this
I'm sad
game.
that like it's giving
Outside
Gran
of
Turismo
stealth,
a run for its
he
money.
does like to get himself into a fight, and I know you in particular
Yeah.
are quite impressed by the melee system they seem
The
to
Gran
have
Turismo is
in this
kind
game.
of
Yeah, so as you were saying
fallen
with
behind
Uncharted,
a
Uncharted
little.
is very gun heavy and kind of like Nate has lots of different weapons that he can use. It seems like Indy's kind of doing the inverse of that, where he's got his revolver, but actually a lot of the
You
combat
know, if we
seems
were
to be
really
fist
smart,
fighting,
I would be
and there's actually,
running
it
the
seems to
Gamescom
be,
coverage,
at
and
least what
Uber
we've
would be
seen,
running the
a
Xbox
reasonably
coverage.
deep fist fighting system. So
Oh
you've
god.
got your usual left and right hooks, but there's also like a dodge and parry system. And obviously, you then combine that
They're
with the
doing
whip,
Blizzard
so
on
you can kind of
Xbox
like
now,
whip them
so
from the ankle and pull them over, or you can knock their weapons out their hands. So then you can like dive in to get like your strong right hook in.
Dude, World of
And
Warcraft
so,
is
yeah,
so
it
fucking
feels like
unexciting at this point.
definitely it's going to
Yeah,
have
I
a
know.
little bit of that Uncharted, as you say. You can't
It's like,
escape
oh, a
that because
dwarf island.
Indy is the start
Wow.
of that Genesis. But I like that they're focusing
were
on
covering it
things
in the
that are
preview
very
portion.
not like what
I was like,
other
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the woman who was
archaeology-style
on
adventure games
tried
have
to
done in the
lie
past.
about
No, and I also
Dragonflight
like
being
there's a
exciting.
great
Like,
deal
dude,
of puzzle
don't
solving in this
even
game.
try.
Like,
No.
I
in
mean,
that
they
15
have to
minutes
say
we
it
saw,
all
there
the
was at least
time.
3 or
They
4
have to
different
pretend
types of
everything's
puzzles we
alright.
saw. Of course,
Yeah,
you
but
have,
it's like,
the
come
light and mirror
on,
puzzle that you
man.
kind of see in all of these types of games. But there was also just a good amount of kind of not, it's kind of outside of the box puzzle solving. We don't know to an extent how many different ways you can solve certain objectives in this game yet, but a key tool that Indy has is his journal and his camera. So he'll go around levels and take photographs of clues, and then that'll help him not only solve puzzles and work out ways of completing these levels, but also for everything you successfully take a photo of, you get things called adventure points, which you can then use to unlock perks. We've only seen one of those, I
Overwatch.
think, so far, but I know it was
course.
one that you were also a big fan of because it plays
Exciting.
into the
Oh,
films in a
Overwatch,
very funny
yeah.
way.
Yeah, so there is a perk called True Grit.
Oh yeah.
And this is,
Didn't
if
she
you've played
release already?
Borderlands and you know what the
The new one.
second wind sort of ability in that game
I
is,
don't know.
when
I don't
you
even
go
keep
down,
up with
it allows
Overwatch.
you
I
to
just
come back. It's a second
keep
life,
all this. I
essentially.
just see all the
But
discourse
True
to my
Grit, the way
timeline.
it does it, like it's perfect. He drops the hat.
Honestly, I
and then
barely
you
see the
pick the hat
discourse
up
anymore.
And put it back on your head.
It's like my one friend who
Hopefully it
plays
plays the
Overwatch. That's the
music
only reason I
sting,
know what's
and
going
then, yeah,
on
you
there.
get your second life and you get to carry on. I think that's just a perfect way of knowing what the tropes of those films are and finding a way to turn that into gameplay. I think that's super smart.
I think they're doing a lot of things to play on your expectations and what you want to see from Indy, which is obviously going in, finding relics, like going into tombs.
What was the
finding all
FPS
these
on the
historical
short, and
secrets.
why did you-
Also
why
kind of
did you
subverting
set
your
it to that?
expectations. Right at the
It
end
was
of the day,
very
there's a funny moment
ugly.
where they drop
Her
down
character model,
into
that's
this tomb
surprising.
and you're expecting
We've long since
snakes,
established
but it's
that they
actually
don't
scorpions.
optimize
A fun
anything,
little twist.
including
I
previews made
That's
for the
more
press.
Temple of Doom, a lot of bugs in Temple of Doom.
Yeah, but I'm kind of
Respecting
surprised because
Snake,
these are
I'm
like
sure there will be
pre-rendered and
snakes in
everything.
this
So
game. We haven't played
Yeah,
the
this is
game,
true. Like
so
usually
I
you,
feel about it, but
you know
there
how
is
good the
like
Overwatch
crappy
shorts look, like
essence
Disney
of Indiana
quality.
Jones,
Now
and
it's
it
just
does,
like,
like,
yeah.
and I say
what happened,
cliche,
man?
but
It should run
This
out of
looks
budget.
like a
feel like you're
fucking.
playing an
This looks
unofficial,
like a,
almost
a
an
low
official
budget
film
3D
of Indiana
CGI
Jones, and they've got
anime.
it spot on.
This looks
Amazingly,
like
even
something you'd see on
Vegas
Love, Death, and
impersonation,
Robots.
which, you know, if you squint your
Ooh.
ears, if you can do that, I
Not
don't
really
know if that's a
hyping
thing,
that one up, are you?
isn't too far away.
No,
but
I
think-
really
I
like
think
that. I'm
he's
just
got
saying
it
like
pretty well,
it's an
you know.
experimental series, so I'm saying like
One
this is
big
something
question
you
we've had
would
since the
probably
start
see
of
on
the build
that.
of this game is
this actually reminds me. It reminds me of. There is one short from I think season 3 where there's a lady on some planet and her partner dies when the ship crashes, and yeah, it kind of looks almost like this.
There are moments where it switches to third person.
I've instantly
Some
thought
of those,
like
I think, work
3D CG
well, like the
anime
climbing,
because
that
it
makes
looks
sense
exactly
in
like
third
one I
person.
unfortunately
But then,
watched,
like,
but I
every,
can't
like,
remember which one.
whip swing you do, for like a second cuts to third person.
I
That is a
don't
little
think I can
jarring for me
recall
at the
which one.
moment. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I find the kind of like
There have been a bunch of
There's
those.
almost a bit of Deus Ex, if you know the modern Deus Ex games have when you go into cover, and
it
it goes into third person,
looks
which
like a
feels
really
very
low
natural
budget
for it.
escape
It feels
from
like it works for
Paradise.
the gameplay mechanics. But it is obvious in this that when he does the whip crack to swing himself over a
I don't
chasm,
understand
that
the
they
like
want to have
low
that kind
frame
of
rate.
cinematic element of indie. But the
Because
moment
that's a
is
stylistic
so
choice.
small,
I
it's
just
a
can't
second,
comprehend it. It
so you're
looks
going
so
out
bad.
into third person for a second, and
Like the
then
whole
back
point
into
with
first
3D
person.
CG is that
Whereas
you're
with the
not
climbing, you've got a
animating
more
on 2s
extended
and
period, and it
like
makes more
3s
sense
and
to that.
4s anymore, so
I
you can
hope
go
that there's a
fully
toggle
60
that I can switch
FPS.
that on and off, because quite
And it
honestly, I'd
looks
rather play
natural.
the game mostly in first person. It is a game that is
What a
clearly built
waste.
for first person.
Alright, I need to return
and
right back.
I want to play most of the game that way.
Especially because like the details of some of these like levels, it's a beautiful looking game, and I kind of, you know, I think you can be immersed in third person
going
games,
long
but
on the
first person
Indiana
does
Jones
give you
thing.
that extra little boost to that, I think. And seeing some of these worlds and, you know, holding the journal up in first person, it all feels very.
You know what?
different.
From now,
like
I
when
should
games
just say
feel
I have to return
tangible.
some
And
videotapes
it's
while
another
we
way
leave.
they're really like encapsulating the feel of the films. I do want to touch on the comedy of it all as well, because I do think it's going to be like, that's what the Hitman side of, like, Hitman is one of the funniest games you can play because it allows you to do funny things. And I think even in the melee combat, you see like funny little like slaps and stuff like that, which is
The
very
short
funny.
went on for
And also
quite a
the way you
while.
can just pick up weapons from around the world. Like there's
I
a
guess
shovel on
she's
the floor, pick it
May
up, hit
from
someone
Overwatch
once,
and
and
random
then that weapon will
scientist,
shatter. So you
lesbian
can't
baby or
overly
whatever.
abuse that system. But it's fun.
You
little
actually
things
know
like
the
pick
Overwatch
up
lore, okay,
not
pity you.
anything in the world, but you know,
No, I
pick up
know
little
who May
things
is, and it was
and
like
just
May.
use
No,
them
I know
in
May
a
made
kind
like
of
one
a
of the
little
girls,
bit
but
like, you know,
like
old
people
Valve
can still
games
keep
with
up with the
their
lore
physics
somehow.
engine just kind of
No, but
making
she's
weapons
like
from
talking
the world.
to her,
I
and
know
she's
you
going
saw
like,
a
"Oh,
little bit of
sweetheart, blah blah
Valve
blah."
design to it. We don't
So,
want to overhype how much design work's going into
guess
this,
it-
but there is a
guess
little bit of that in there,
she's
I
the
think.
test
Yeah,
tube
I
baby
think
or
that
something.
kind of like
It's like time
providing
travel
as many
or
possibilities
something,
within a
question
space as
I
possible.
just don't understand how can people get excited for this game when they
There's a
cancel
lot
the
of linear
PvE
sections,
content,
but
they
then there's a
keep
lot of kind of
like
I guess you call
fumbling
them
the
wider
actual
linear
game.
sections, which
Blizzard,
is where
man.
you get
Just
to make
Blizzard.
more of your own choices on how you progress through the mission, and that's where
I mean,
we're
people
going
have
back to
been
the
playing
disguise
Overwatch
system.
for a long time and spent a lot
You
on
have
loot crates.
disguises that work for particular story sections,
I think that's
but
the
then it
biggest
seems like you
part
get
of
to
it.
keep
Like, they
those
can't-
disguises, and then
they've
if you
invested
find
like
an area that
$5,000
would
into the game, they can't let
require
it
a
go now.
similar presence, you can switch back into that. And so that combined with the like these slightly more open, a bit like what Chronicles of Riddick had, where it's like, okay, you're in an area.
I
but
love
there's
it when
sort of
developers are on
four
stage and you
routes
have
that
to
you can
guess like
see that might go
unfortunate
through it,
looking woman
and then
or
this one
transsexual.
is I
Yeah.
can pick up this rolling pin, batter the Nazi with a rolling pin. But then
It
I
seems to
could
be a
maybe
woman.
grab this guy's gun and fire a few rounds of that off. It's got a bit of that. It's not an immersive
have it
sim
talk
game in the
on the
way
thing.
that kind of things like what Arcane and Ironstorm back in the day made, but it's got that
I see
freedom,
Avowed
which
behind
reminds
him.
me a little bit of Valve. Valve was always kind of
I
hot
want to
on,
be interested
you're
in
in
that
first
game, but
person, as
it
long as
seems
you
to be
can
just
do
be
things
Skyrim,
around
but
the environment,
DEI.
you'll find a solution. I'm hoping that's what it's going to get from. That's what it was suggested from
really
what I was
exciting.
seeing.
I'm very excited for this game. Like, I was
And
already
to be honest,
this
like
game as a huge
I
Indiana
think
Jones fan. I'm just getting
first-person
noticing
melee
this in the
combat
bit of
games are
gameplay
horribly
that
underrepresented.
there is a
I think they
lot
can
more
be
to it.
pretty
I
cool.
thought we maybe I was just getting a first
Like
person.
give me some
untied,
Dark
but
Messiah
the early
combat,
stealth
man.
elements, the disguise elements, a lot more
People
deep
have been wanting
assistance than I
that
thought
since
maybe
Dark
this
Messiah
game
is
would
the
have.
problem.
And yeah, I can't wait to see more. Really, yeah.
Like that mythical.
There's one game like
that mythical successor to that game never comes out. But yeah, I know. I
Diablo
think I know which
4
one you're
was one
gonna
of last year's
talk about.
most addictive
yeah,
games.
the
Thought you were
with
done?
with
They're about
the
to pull you right
it was an
back
indie
in.
game,
Here
but
to tell us about
the
the
trailer
upcoming
was
Vessel of
almost like
Hatred
half
expansion,
pre-rendered, but it
joined by
actually
Brett
looks
Gibson,
pretty cool.
Game director and Tiffany Kilowatt,
Alcahest.
production director. Welcome. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Let's talk about Vessel of Hatred coming to Diablo 4 October 8th, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. And I believe at the show here at Gamescom, you're showing
showing a new trailer for the Pale Hand Mercenaries.
Yes.
What do we need to know about this crew?
Oh my god.
I'm really surprised they're going so hard on like
to find a way
the mercenaries,
to
the fucking
players
NPCs that can run around with you.
classes to round out their builds with certain powers that you might not actually have in that class specifically. And so, like, for example, if you're playing a Sork, you might want to have something a little more tanky as a part of your kit.
To be honest,
So
like seeing all
Mercenaries
this
is a really
Diablo
great
stuff, it
way
does start
of being
to give me the
hire
itch to
and
place
bring
a
followers
Diablo
along that
clone.
fit
That's
their
why I put
path.
Titan Quest on
Yeah,
my
there's a
wish
few
list.
reasons I love Mercenaries. I mean, I've been playing Diablo for a long time.
And Victor Run.
Diablo 2
I'm also
always had a
frustrated
mercenary
because
with me, obviously, in
they're
Diablo
talking like, oh,
3. So
this
really,
will
really excited to
facilitate
bring
making
this feature
players
to
never
Diablo
feel that they're
4.
alone. Like, there were
I'm personally a
mercenaries
little
in
scared when
Diablo
I go
2.
down into the dungeons, so
None
having a
of this
friend
is
with
new.
me makes it a little bit friendlier.
It's like the first
and
black
like
woman.
Brent was
It's like the
saying,
first
being able
black
to
woman in
customize your
X.
play
They have to say like first time
no
or
matter
best
what build
thing.
you
It's
have,
like
whatever class
you've
you're
already done
playing,
this.
there's
Fuck
going
off.
to be a mercenary that you can
It's so
customize
strange,
to
like
really, I
rehash
think,
features from Diablo
enhance
2
what
and be
you're
like, oh,
doing,
this is so new and
and being able to
innovative.
switch them on the fly, and just all the
Reminds
features
me of
that it brings to the
to bring it
table.
back to Star Wars. You remember when Solo came out and one journalist was like, "Oh my God, it's the first female robot in Star Wars, first female droid."
Yes.
Yeah,
And then
pretty much.
Variana, the Berserker
she
Crow,
forgets the fact that there was
Subo
one
the
in
Bounty
Phantom
Hunter.
Menace.
Yeah, and I believe you encountered
In
them
the very
like during
in
as
the
you
actual
complete
intro of the
quests in
movie.
Vessel of Hatred.
Yeah.
Is it a specific
Isn't
order,
the
or can you
red
find
R2D2
them
implied
on your own,
to
or
be
how does
You
female
that
can
as
work?
well?
find them on your own. You're gonna find one during the campaign.
There are like a
but
few
the
female
really
R2
special thing about
units in
this is
Star
that
Wars,
we
in
just
Clone
didn't
Wars.
put
Yeah.
it into the game. We actually wanted to build them out as characters.
Sounds so stupid when you're
So
like,
they
oh,
all
the
have their
red
own side
R2D2
quests
is that a
that really
female? Like,
lean into
fucking
their human
There's
trash
a
can
pink
on
R2D2,
YouTube.
a pink
spoil
one.
anything here
Yeah.
today.
Not red.
Of course,
But
of course the
it's
pink
they're
one is so
wonderful
open, yeah.
human stories for each individual one.
She's called
and,
QTKT.
You know, the character
No.
development in Diablo 4 is super top-notch.
Because that makes it
That's
so much
classic
better.
Star Wars naming.
Yeah, it's awesome
That's
that
so
we can
fucking
continue
Star
to bring the
Wars.
world
And this is
to
long
a lot
before,
of
like,
new
this is like early
characters,
Clone Wars, not
and
even
as
some. You
you're
can't even call it
acquiring
some
them, as you're
woke
playing through
stuff.
the game, is learning more about them and their backgrounds.
I do. I love
You know,
Star Wars
bringing
names.
that
It's
little
so
bit of role
fucking
playing
funny.
into
I love
your
Star
They always
Wars.
they take someone's name and just make an anagram out of it.
The whole squad.
I always talk
There's a
about
couple
Star
different
Wars,
ways
but
that you can bring them in.
Savage Opress
One,
is one of the
if you're
funniest
playing
fucking
by
Darth
yourself,
Maul,
you can bring
Savage
them in,
Ventress.
as a follower, so they'll be running around the world.
Savage
with you, but we
Opress, yeah,
also
that
have a
was the best one.
reinforcements feature,
Savage
which
Opress is
no matter how many
insane.
people
That is
you
like
have in your party,
deviant
you can
art
assign
shit.
them to come in and use their special
Fucking
powers under certain conditions
orc.
that you define.
Oh, this is a
And so
man.
you
Oh
might be
no,
in
it
the
was
middle
not
of
a woman.
combat and say, you know, on basic.
Oh shit,
have
dude.
over here, come in and throw his however you spec
Yeah, that's a
him
fake
in that
name.
moment, which is really cool
Aislinn.
because you can.
No, but
I can look. I'm gonna
always
look up
bring
right
with
now,
you, even if
or
you're not
him
on
or
screen.
whatever.
It. Look
No,
up
I was
it.
just gonna add. I think that's just to enhance on
Nice
what Brent
profile
was
picture
saying.
on Twitter.
You know, being
Kinda
able
looks like
to
John Lennon.
trigger the reinforcements to key actions that are happening during gameplay. You can be a little bit more passive with it, like Brent mentioned, if you wanted to attach it to your basic attack. But you can also attach it to like, hey, I just took a lot of damage. Now I want Rahir to come in.
Yeah,
and
I
put
don't
up his
think
shield
she's a
for me.
woman.
I think that's where the
What a startling
customization of the
revelation.
gameplay is really, really amazing.
we got the real scoop.
You mentioned the campaign. Can you sort of set up where the story is going in this expansion?
Yeah, you know, it's a.
Yeah,
the
man, they're
story
not
of
selling
Hatred
me on Diablo
is a
4. I'm
longer
sorry.
story that we wanna
Like they can
tell.
try, but
And
They
so when we
failed at
left
the
off in
launch,
base
so how do you
game,
think they're gonna
defeated Lilith,
like
and Narel had
recoup from that?
Mephisto and the Soul Stone.
It's
So this
so
is really the next
I
chapter
feel
of
feel
that.
like
We're picking
the
it right up where we left
the
off.
stuff they
and
shown
you're gonna
from this
figure out what the fate
expansion
of
is
that
so
Soul Stone
strange. Like
actually is.
it's strangely unexciting.
A new region, Nahantu?
Yep.
Is that right? What is sort of that allowed you to bring into Diablo 4 that wasn't there before?
Weirdly marketed.
Oh man, all sorts of stuff. I mean, you've got this.
There's also
dark
this one, but
gothic setting
he's less pink.
with the base game, and to be able to come in and bring something as fresh
It's
as
also
the
art
jungle
to
is pretty
QT.
amazing. And even though it's
all of that.
brand new to Diablo 4, there's a lot of nostalgia.
This
built
feels
in
like
as
George
well.
Lucas
And so
was
for fans that have been
naming
around
them
since
himself.
Diablo 2, we're going back to a region that we touched on lightly, but now we get to dive deeper in with the open world. We got a lot more opportunity to build out that
Yeah.
space.
We also get to bring new amazing monster families to the game. So we have the Hollows, the Dregs, and a fan favorite, the Lacunae. So that's really, really exciting. I think finding new monsters and just defeating them is a
Oh, it's the guy from
core
yesterday.
fantasy of Diablo 4. So just I can't wait to see what people's reactions are to the families.
Oh yeah, the
There's
hostage.
a new class, Spiritborn.
Hostage.
Any tips or tricks for people who are going to be jumping into this new class?
Oh man, this is the most experimentation that you're going to see really in any class. I actually think it comes down to
strange that
playstyle
they're having like
preference.
2 Xbox
So their
interviews
tips
at
and
the
tricks
same
are
time.
really based on
Or like 2 Blizzard
what
interviews
style
going
you
on
prefer.
simultaneously.
You know, I'm a Jaguar player. I really like. We were talking about this earlier. I got the coin in my pocket.
Man, I feel bad for the
where,
devs
like,
in
I
this
like the
like
fast-paced
trailer on
speed.
the Xbox
I
channel
like being able
because
to
they're
cover a
trying
lot of
so
ground.
hard to sell like the most unexciting
But like
expansion
pairing
in
it
the
with
universe.
something like Centipede, is really fantastic because not
It's
only
like
are you covering a
nothing.
lot of the ground, but
It's like,
you're
oh,
also
this
leaving that
ability
damage
you
out
use
into
by
the field
clicking
at the
one
same time.
button
So
and then you hold
I
it
just
down.
encourage
It's like,
people
what
to get
the
in
fuck?
and like see all the emergent
It's
experimentation
like listening
that
to
they
a
can get with the
tutorial or
class and
something.
come up with things that even
Nice,
we haven't talked about.
Yeah.
Lady, I'm sure
It's
the
really great that
architects in the
again,
chat are gonna be
I
pleased.
think that maybe the key
Yeah.
of this expansion is being able to customize your
They
playstyle,
don't
and the
need any
class in itself has just caters to so many different playstyles. It's kind of gross to think that I would say I'm a centipede player because I do not like centipedes, but I am a centipede player. So I like the poisons that they bring, the damage over time playstyle, and you know Brent is telling me I need to add some jaguar into that. So
We had a
What
long
is the
debate this
Lacoon
morning.
knife from? Are they from like
I
2
believe
or
there's a new
3?
co-op dungeon. What
you want me to look
specific
up the wiki?
challenges does it pose that has to be tackled in co-op? You can't do this alone.
Oh
Probably
man,
3 since I don't recognize them.
so we talked about
dude,
this a lot.
Diablo
There's a
has
lot of things that are going on.
has
on
surprisingly,
that, and I feel like the cooperative
fleshed out
mechanics that
wiki.
we put into place need to be discovered because part of the challenge is
Diablo
not gonna
2.
be overly
They are
forward
under
with
the
what
name
goes on.
Panther
So
Woman.
It's just know that you need to go in with somebody that you trust. Know
And
that
Sarah
you need to communicate, but the game is set up in a way where it's not required. But the experience is quite fantastic because it's at the core it's still
This
Diablo
massive
combat,
graveyard of demons
right?
from
But the
1,000 years ago.
mechanics
It's
that are
really
coming up really
thought-provoking.
are like you have to be on point
How
with
is it
that combat, be a good player.
Unless you're like
and
into
try
the
to
lore or something,
coordinate
I
at
don't
the
know.
same time. It's a
This is such a
blast
strange
of play
tale.
tests.
yeah, you got to jump into Dark Citadel with 2 to 4 players. But if you don't have any friends that are online at the moment, you can always use our new Party Finder feature, which isn't just limited to the Dark Citadel. You can use that feature to find parties for any of the content. But I think that's an exciting new social feature that we're bringing to the table as well.
Oh yeah,
Very cool.
I see the
Diablo
woman
4's been out for over a year now. It's awesome to see
Fiona
you guys
from
still
Shrek.
supporting it.
Yeah.
We're excited to jump in.
Yeah.
Vessel of Hatred in October. Thank you so much for coming by the show.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Diablo 4's Vessel of Hatred expansion is out October 8th for Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, but right now there's more Gamescom Studio coming up right here on IGN.
Yeah, get excited for these new characters and interesting personalities.
Easy to use and high-tech maps out there. Period.
This is one of the
And by
worst,
high-tech,
like,
we mean it. We've
trailers
recently
I've seen in
added
a long
features
time.
like personal notes that save to your IGN account, and anything you check off on a map is tracked in the guide as well. It's the perfect system to get to 100%. IGN maps load faster with more markers than ever and are built for your phone.
I'm just compiling a list of YouTube and Twitch channels that revolve around this. I'm just making one big master post and just adding them all into a text file before I just make the copy and paste.
Oh dear.
So a sick fucking Metal Gear Rex model on the Gamescom channel. Doing like a merch shilling thing.
Dungeons and Dragons and more.
Okay.
Whatever your pop culture passion, you're guaranteed to find something you love. There are
They're gonna
new
sell
and
that
exciting
shitty
products hitting
Pip-Boy
the store
again.
every week, like the Wasteland Ready
Star
Full
Wars
Vault
hot
33
sauce.
hoodie, which pairs
Hot
perfectly
sauce,
with your
oh boy.
working wearable Pip-Boy. Plus,
Oh,
try
Mustafa,
all the
okay.
IGN store exclusives, like the powerful and spicy
The
Star
old dude.
Wars
In
Jedi
Friendo,
hot
wow,
sauce
so
by
original.
Truff. We've even got merchandise
The
for you
Metal
to
Gear
rock
is
while
so
tuning
fucking
into
cool,
the
though.
IGN shows and podcasts you love. Or cap off a long day by relaxing to the soundtracks of your favorite video games, like Cyberpunk and The Last of Us. And the best part, you don't even need to leave the house to go there. Just head to store.ign.com and start shopping today. The
On
IGN
Gamescom Asia.
Okay, they're gonna have multiple events.
Yeah. October.
Might see Mecha Break there.
Yeah. I wish I could see their booth seemed really cool at Gamescom.
Yeah, man, so they have like a model of the Elysinus, right? The head.
Yeah,
bust.
they have like paint. They're gonna be painting like model kit.
And there's this competition as well. It sounds really cool, to be honest.
Yeah. Ah, Monster Hunter.
You're watching IGN's coverage of Gamescom 2020.
Oh, are you watching the Xbox showcase right now?
I'm switching between the two.
Yeah, so they were just talking about, oh, you have to use an item to reflect the boss at tab, as if other games haven't already done that.
Of Monster Hunter Wilds and translator.
It's such a strange
new ground.
So, first of all, I have to thank you for
what
letting
a
us bring
weird
two
thing this
weapons
is.
on a hunt. So I do
They
have
must
to
have had
ask,
like
though, how will this work
nothing.
with the guild cards?
I mean, I think they're demoralized at this point. They know their reputation, the shitter, and they just have to try and salvage whatever they can. Just honestly pretty sad.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe they're aiming for like the most casual people who literally don't know anything about video games.
Whether or not you have something exactly
They're like, you can
build
click a
cards from
button and it
previous
makes an
titles
attack.
is something we'll talk about a little bit down the road, but I'm sure you'll be happy with what we've done. Let's just say that.
Yeah, that makes me happy. There's more to talk about. Lots of secrets for us to discover. That makes me happy. So then let's go back
Sometimes
to the
I wish I liked
towards
Monster
people
Hunter.
who love to play together with their
I
friends.
wanted to
or
get
with
into
strangers,
World, but I
and
guess I just dropped out of it. Like
Yeah,
back
I
when it
only-
came out.
I only played the first one and enjoyed it, and I couldn't enjoy any of the other Monster Hunters.
All right, everybody, I'm posting all the links in all the chats. These are your options. I'm still sticking with the Gamescom YouTube.
chats.
I'm sticking by Twitch. Okay, they're showing off Monster Hunter on the main Gamescom channel, and I think they're finishing off Diablo on the Xbox One.
So I'm hoping Stalker, because that's gonna get my undivided attention.
Same.
Decent damage output compared to the other hunters in your party. So for Monster Hunter Wilds, I focused on making sure that if you're pulling off the right moves and combos, Hunting Horn users can also be right up there in the damage output with their friends.
I'm gonna say I could not get a handle on the hunting horn. I was awful with it. So I was the worst support player.
Are they still talking about Diablo? Come on.
That you took from Monster
Yeah,
Hunter
they're doing
Worlds
like
and Monster
they're
Hunter
pretending to
Rise
ask
into
unprompted questions to them now.
ワールドまたはライズの経験から生かして今回のワイルズに実装しているとかここは変えてみました追加しましたのような要素があれば教えてください。
Guess they're doing like end-game raids in the Shadow Tower or whatever. Okay.
今までの作ってきたモンスターハンターのやっぱり経験であったりとか、ノウハウであったりとかっていうのはすごくやっぱりこのワイルズでももちろん生きて
Is
る
this the like equivalent to doing maps
それを踏ま
in
えて
Path of Exile, I think?
入れたシステムであったりとかも
Probably.
仕様であったりとかでももちろんたくさんあります。
Not just Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter Rise, we've actually looked further back through the whole series history and just taking a look at how our approach was on each title and what we learned from them and how the players reacted to them. And I think in Monster Hunter Wilds, we've really taken these many, many years of experience and finally been able to put it into the ultimate Monster Hunter game.
まあ一つ言うと例えばセクレトとかっていうところで言うとやっぱり今まで結構フィールドが広くなっていく分にはやっぱりアクションの幅も広がってまあワクワクするっていいんですけど。その分やっぱり迷いやすいとかっていう欠点があったりとか移動までに時間がかかったりとかっていう、まあ、欠点もあったんですけど、まあ、そういうのはセクレートがある程度オートで行きたいところまで行ってくれたりとかする
I'm dangerously tempted to change over to the Xbox stream. What you guys? This is fucking boring. I don't care about.
Do you have zero interest in Monster Hunter, right?
I really don't.
And that has meant it's been easier to
I'm
get
kind
lost
of
on
committed.
Yeah,
to
it's
the-
a pretty slow and clunky game on the surface. Like when you actually see it and you just say, nah, this doesn't look very exciting.
I could not get over like the movement and stuff in Monster Hunter. Since I played the first one that was on like PlayStation 1, you don't even have like the analog sticks. So like the clunkiness felt like completely natural, but as soon as it's like, oh, you have two analog sticks, like it felt so fucking uncomfortable to play.
I know we were able to
Yeah.
sharpen our
That's why I like
weapons on it,
Dragon's
but
Dogma,
are
because
we
Dragon's
also
Dogma
allowed
felt
to
like
use
Monster Hunter should feel.
Yeah, it definitely has some of that DNA in it.
Yeah, but it's like playable.
特に弓などのユーザーはよりそうですけど。
そうですね、すべての武器がセクレトに乗った状態から攻撃することができます。ただ、攻撃の種類自体は限られています
I'm
の
gonna
で、
be a stubborn old man. I'm
本
just
当に
gonna
時間
stick
的
to
な
the
攻撃値を求め
Gamescom
るならば、やはり地上に降
stream
りていただ
proper.
いてアクションしていただく形が望ましくはあります。
I'm mostly playing Path of Exile right now, so I'm not really super paying close
Yeah,
attention.
they're talking about Monster Hunter still. They're interviewing the director, I think.
They're
DPS,
interviewing
as it
two
were.
people.
I'd recommend getting off the Sacred and getting into the battle proper, but it's there if you want to use it, and there's a limited number of actions you can use.
Okay, that's actually amazing. I mean, I'll take the tips from the pro, so I won't just write them out. And
I mean, it's like really, of
So
course,
we
like
do
all the
see
questions
that
of it
monsters are
beforehand,
going to
but
be able to
I must say, like the
form a
Gamescom
herd
slash
and attack
IGN
you.
one has way better
This
questions
sounds
than the Xbox One. The Xbox
Why
One
did
was
you
so
decide to
fucking.
No, I
explore
have it
this
muted. I only have the Xbox One.
群れて
Yeah.
攻撃してくるようなシーンがあったんですけど。
I'm just managing to understand both streams going on at the same time.
なぜこういう要素を入れようと思ったんですか。
You're holodexing it.
Yeah.
I'm not ADHD enough for that.
Oh wait, the brown lady in Monster Hunter. I don't think I noticed that.
部分っていうのもモンスターにはありますので、そういうところを強調するためには群れみたいな表現っていうのが、今回のこう技術を生かした形として望ましいなと思ったので、今回採用しています。
We're always trying to depict a realistic ecosystem, and that means
It's very
not just
strange
how
to
the
see like
monsters or creatures in the environment behave, but how they react
60-year-old
to
people are supposed to be
And
serious
just as in the
business
real
people
world,
have
some
graphic
creatures
tees
will
on.
form packs or herds, and
I'm
they
just
might
never
be
going to get
aggressive
used to that.
towards humans who come towards them, or they might be scared of them and run away in a herd.
They're
So
trying to
given that
appeal
the
to the
technology
crowd.
now allows us to display so many more monsters on screen at the same time, it seemed like
This
the perfect
one
opportunity to
kind
implement
of
this
chubby
feature.
dude on the Xbox stream has like a
if we
be
give the
anything you want
monsters some
unless you
food,
can
is
be a
that something that
panther.
could
So I
possibly
guess
make
that's
them-
like
we
shilling
can
for the new
befriend
race
them?
or whatever.
群れのモンスターに餌を与えて友達になったりすることは分野合いはできるんですか？
毒の肉を食べさせることはできます。
The only thing you can feed them
Alright, you know what? They're still yapping on Diablo. I'm gonna hop on the main one. I'm gonna unmute that.
Okay,
So
yeah,
tired of
yeah,
Diablo.
Well, yeah, they wouldn't be alive to really think of that. So, what are the new monsters that you're very excited for?
Yeah, at least they're
playing
like
across?
saying something new and interesting on Monster Hunter, even though they don't care about the game.
Okay, so they have the I think who's the director and they have a translator
まだ
with
本
them.
当に一部しか公開してませんので、これから先出ていくモンスター
Again,
は
I'm
本
still
当に
I hear
さらに魅力
Japanese.
的な
I'm
もの
looking
がたく
for
さんあります
subtitles.
が、昨日の
I'm so
PV でも
conditioned at
た
this
くさん
point.
We're looking at the spider, just Mott's wet dream
砂
right
原
now.
での一番
Yeah,
頂
yeah.
点に立っているモンスターは非常にこうビジュアル的にも、かっこよくてですね、しかるべき強さも秘めてますので、今回試
Moth
作の
instantly found
デモ
like
版
the
でもプレイい
monster
ただける
girl.
形に
Someone
な
had
ってま
painted
す
of
ので、
it, so
なんか見ていただけたら
it's very
嬉しい
good
な
for
と
that.
思ってます。
Needless to say, we've
He
only
knows the right
revealed a few
people.
monsters so far,
So it
so
serves
I
a
can't
useful
really talk
function for
about,
my Twitter.
Monsters we haven't gotten to yet.
Yeah, I saw you
But,
retweet a
of the
Moth
ones that
girl.
we
I
can
thought
expect to
I
get
initially
thus
thought
far,
wait,
Raidal is really exciting.
that's Moth's thing.
You've
Why would
seen it
Orion
in the
retweet
trailer,
that?
that we released yesterday. It's
I also really
the
like
top
monster
of the
girls.
food chain. It's the apex predator of the
It's
Windward
good to know.
Plains, the desert area. And not only visually, but in terms of mechanics, it's a really thrilling hunt. So I can't wait for players to get their hands on it. And if you're coming to Gamescom and you're able to play our demo on our booth, that's one of the monsters you can encounter.
Okay, yeah.
I must say,
I'll
like,
stop asking
kind of
questions that you
impressed that
can't answer, but I
IGN was
do have
actually
one
like
for both of you,
asking
since we are
questions they
coming up
could
to our
not
last and
answer.
final
So they
question.
didn't actually
Honestly, a little bit
softball
fun.
Monster
I
Hunter
love
devs. That's
calicos.
kind of
I think they're the
surprising.
most adorable things ever. I wish they were real. Do you have
Broken
calicos
clock.
of your own at home, aka cats?
You know fucking, yeah, exactly. Fucking IGN doing journalism for once. Like, holy shit, dude.
They're buying up other publications, aren't they?
Yeah, same fucking mother company owns every fucking video game newspaper
Oh,
at this
okay.
point.
So I see where we're getting the inspirations for Monster Hunter.
Just what we need. Consolidation after Game Informer shuts
I
down.
would definitely swing by your booth to play. Thank you so much for speaking with
That
me.
is kind of sad.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking the time to watch us and this special Monster Hunter segment. Monster Hunter Wilds will be releasing in 2025 on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC.
Yeah, they're still going on about Diablo, but now they're moving on to the next game.
Yeah,
that's bitching. I mean, it makes sense that Xbox takes longer time since it's their games.
Okay, this is an advertisement. It's not another
Coca
segment.
City is a football tycoon game where you transform an entire city to get it prepped to host
They're
world-class
shilling for
football
Köln,
events.
the city,
Coca
I
City
think.
features 3 meticulously crafted maps based on real
Hmm.
cities like Warsaw and Berlin, and includes 6 world-class football clubs like Flamengo, Arsenal FC.
Wait, alpha
and FC
gameplay of what? I didn't
Barcelona.
get the name.
Here's an
Oh yeah,
exclusive first
yes,
look
this is
at
like
alpha
it's like a indie football manager game.
Oh, Football Manager. Yeah, I've seen some of those games.
But I think this you actually manage like the arenas and stuff as well.
It's the culmination of hard work.
Man, they should make a fucking Hooligans Storm Over Europe sequel.
Activate the fans.
That was a fucking dank
to
game.
ensure everyone's safety. To meet
Kind of
every
bad, but
need.
fun.
And to ignite the city's fiesta for the game. Sometimes it requires making tough decisions with lasting consequences.
Oh, more Diablo.
Yeah, they're still talking about Diablo. I'm just like
Wait for Stalker.
Yep.
To bring the best
players and clubs to your city.
Man,
To make your game
I've never really cared about football, even when I played it myself.
Okay, it's over.
Hope City, first football tycoon.
Hope City.
I think it was Copa City, but like Cope City.
Yeah, it was Copa City. Yeah, they actually call it Cope City.
The average Cinefix movie list features nearly 100 different films.
The Criterion collection.
Worth of wall-to-wall deep dive analysis.
That's
Simulate that pace for this 30-second ad. We're featuring 26.
I guess they gotta
They're
pay the
good
bills.
curators and they remaster movies really good. So
we're not math people. We're movie
it's a good sponsor, I said.
Can't even
Oh,
count down
Cinefix,
from 10
okay.
without
It was
ending up
Criterion
at
collection.
96. Subscribe to IGN Movies and TV for more Cinefix movie lists. Bad at math, great.
Of course, IGN has a TV movie section.
IGN Playlist is the best way to track your game.
Yeah, they always did.
Now you can even import your entire Steam library to Playlist.
Oh, you
making
can
it
have
easier than
math
ever to
for
review
games.
Show off your collection of the world.
Yeah, give IGN your data.
That massive backlog you keep
Obviously.
needing to get
They're
to.
trustworthy.
IGN Playlist. Check it out.
Ad-free browsing, damn, dude.
Check out IGN Plus.
I'm
They have to advertise that in
Exclusive
these
deals
days.
and giveaways. Ad-free browsing, unlimited tracking on IGN Maps, discounts at
IGN
the IGN
Plus.
store
Yeah, suck my
and with
ass, IGN.
partners.
Big deal.
And best of all,
I'm chuckling over IGN maps. It's like, yeah, I know what kind of maps they're talking about.
head to
The fucking Gamescom moderator is joking about Drachenlord. What the fuck?
and high-tech maps out there.
Oh, spiciness in chat.
Faster
Ooh.
with more markers than ever and are
Yeah,
built
the
for your
fucking
phone as your
the fucking
constant
moderator is
companion to
commenting
the
on it.
biggest games. So start checking off markers for the game you are playing today.
Yeah, no message delete by modder. Okay, they are modding. What is the guy posting?
IGN strategy
I
guides
think-
and interactive maps are here to help. IGN
I
guides are
can't
trusted
see
by
it because
millions,
it's
easy to
deleted. I
use,
don't have
and
any
best
app.
Yeah, but did anyone catch it?
You can even track your
I only
progress
caught
with
the
interactive
moderator
checklists so you
deleting
know
it.
you reached that 100% completion. IGN has the very
I mean,
best,
it's
most
inevitable
complete
when they're in
and
Germany.
accurate
People
guides.
are gonna
Every
joke about
guide is
Drachenlord.
tested and verified for you by experts. Just search for IGN when you search for
Okay,
guides.
let's see what's next.
I just realized
Starship
I just
Troopers.
realized the majority of my audience is morning people because I got like over 30 people in Odyssey right now.
Morning people or European.
Starship Troopers. Oh yeah, they released this game out of early access, didn't they?
Never forget
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did.
Yeah, I heard it was pretty fun, but a little too pricey, to be honest.
Yeah, I felt the same thing. It didn't feel like worth the money. And I wish they were more faithful to the novels, with like the being actually armored troopers, not just in.
If you want, probably the best adaptation of Starship
Yeah,
Troopers
exactly.
is the cartoon, because it's like the aesthetics of the Paul Verhoeven movies, but like more in tone with the novels.
Or the OVAs. The anime
That too.
OVAs.
That too.
We'll see the armored suits.
Yeah.
Because I think the armored suits are really fucking sick.
Those who fall. And those who stay
Can't we
behind.
get this like a cooldown or something?
So we can fight another day.
Get to the dropship, troopers!
This is why we fight.
I wish it was more like had a better price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, that you need people to play it as well, otherwise you're not gonna enjoy it.
Exactly.
Third wave ready, command.
Later this year, you can finally do your part to make the galaxy safe by
Hey,
battling
you
the bug
actually
menace
got
and
him.
Starship Troopers extermination. If you'd
Casper
like to know
Van Dien
more,
has an
you're in luck because
insane
I'm joined by
shin.
the legendary Johnny Rico himself, Casper Van Dien, and Gareth Woods from Offworld Industries.
Yeah, he mewed
Welcome,
really
gentlemen.
hard.
Thanks for coming by. I see you
Yeah.
brought some backups.
He
here.
mugs
Yeah,
Giga
friends
Chat in
of ours.
profile.
Yeah, I always
That's
travel with them.
insane,
I
dude.
love it. It's I feel
Did
incredible.
you, Borin, did you see he actually reacted to
Now, we also
Helldivers
brought
2?
something very cool, which is a brand new
No.
trailer. We just got to look at that.
I'll just post the
I was
video.
thinking we could maybe just throw it on again and maybe pause periodically, pull out some details, call out some cool
do it.
stuff in there. So, yeah, let's take a look.
All right.
So
He's kind of like a
these are
TV actor
Starship
nowadays, I
Troopers,
suppose.
I think I think he's actually in the game, if I remember correctly, in Extermination.
Out of here.
That's nice for him.
Just I love the face mask that they've added in Starship
Is
Troopers
it like a
Extermination. We didn't have that in original. But we
sergeant or
had that.
something
We
by
had
now?
coming out like this. That's a
I haven't
popular,
kept
right?
up though.
Yeah, let's kind of talk
I
about
mean,
there's some
probably like.
Yeah, we wanted to show off
I mean,
some
if
of
you're
the
going
bugs
by
that
the
I guess
story,
people
maybe
have
they're
seen
gonna set
already
after
in
the
the
last
access, but I
movie,
think
which is
big
the animated one.
reveal was obviously the tanker bug, which I suppose we've teased. People knew it was coming. It's in the movie, and that's always been a thing we've tried to push throughout development of the game, is that you're going to get to live action role play the movie. And so if it's in the movie, we want to put it in the game. And so the tanker bug reveal was obviously a big one.
That was
tigers we've seen before.
The tiger bugs are huge.
But obviously the big reveal now when the tanker bug unearths.
I don't know what is their plan
ground,
exactly. Are they
the
gonna do like
music set a
2-3
great
games per
crescendo,
day
you
or
start
what?
getting
Like they had a whole
useless,
list of games and they say, "Go
and
catch this
part
on
of,
the
extermination is
stream." So
extracting
I'm
safely,
curious how they're gonna
but
handle that.
sometimes someone has to stand behind
Do
and,
they have that many
and,
games?
defend the base.
Like,
And,
okay, I'm gonna pull
with
up the
nuke,
tweet again. Let me
which
see.
Obviously very
Like
impressive.
they had a
handling that.
whole list of games. Okay, Gamescom live stream, Diablo. See, they had a date Wednesday, August 21st. Diablo 4, Diablo Immortal, Stalker 2, Adamfall, Starfield, Age of Mythology, and then
When I said to him, "What are you
I don't
trying
know,
to do?"
like,
Kill, and he
what
goes,
is
"I'm
their
just
plan?
trying
They
to kill
can't
some bugs."
cover all this on
That's Seth
one day.
Gilliam, who was in The Walking Dead.
I mean, it
and
gives off the
Walking
impression
Dead.
that they
named
are,
it after
but
him. These
maybe they
people
show more
that
gameplay or something
Offworld is
next
so
days
incredible.
or
They take the time
It's
to
like
look
this
at
is
all the
the
details,
developer
and they would add
interviews,
these
maybe there's
little
more gameplay
people,
tomorrow or something.
things that people.
Oh, now they're
that will
Diablo
actually
Immortal,
be-
so that means they're
or go
going
back
by
and watch.
the
Yeah, basically
tweet.
kind of cram in as many
Yeah.
Easter eggs as
Okay,
possible
so
for the,
Stalker is
fan
next
service.
then?
I was overwhelmed
Yep.
with them.
Casper, I think you were saying this back at IGN Live, but like you
Like, they
recorded
can
more
ignore
lines for
Xbox
this game
with
than
the
for like
Star
all the movies. Is that?
I did.
That's wild.
It was so much fun. We were in there, and they'd throw something else at me, and then I'd go, "Hey, what if we did this?" So we were.
I wonder
we
why
played
Van
when we
Dien
were in
didn't
there.
like make
And
it as an
that was
action
so
actor.
fun for me to have people that were like, "Oh, I got an idea," and they go, "Casper, that was
Yeah,
great,
that's the
but
thing.
why
Like
didn't you
he's
try
one of
this?"
those
And then
actors
they'd
that
go, "Oh,
Hollywood
that was
just
even
doesn't
better."
hire
And then I'd throw
much.
something else, and I'm like, "Oh no, that was
He has like a
perfect." So
perfect face
it's so
for
many
action
different things.
stars.
that
Yeah,
we
he's
added.
even
We
now.
added
He's
level.
like you
But they
could
already
put that
had-
on
they
a
already came
poster.
up with the dialogue
Yeah,
was so
he must
incredible.
be
It
like
reminded me of just like what Ed Newmeyer
50
wrote, who
something,
wrote
right?
Starship
Yeah,
Troopers.
I think he's in
You're
his
sort of playing
50s.
like the general. You're like the
Yeah,
just
Casper
commanding
Van
everybody,
Dien.
bossing
Yeah,
everybody around,
55.
and
He
the
still looks
actual-
really good.
Kind of, you get your
This
orders and the
dude doesn't
narrative is
look
delivered
55.
through Casper and other voice actors.
What a lucky
But
dude.
essentially
Pure-
you play
purely genetics-wise.
a trooper, and you've got your
Oh, he's a white
NPC
Asian.
Working
kind
out.
of characters that join you. They've all got their own backstories. They've got
Maybe-
their
maybe it's
own
like,
kind of personalities. And you essentially go through these series of missions.
Yeah, he
for
did
what
like
is
all
Chapter
these
1, which will be available at launch. We
I
are
never
then
heard of the
guy
periodically
who was
throughout
the,
the
soldier
ongoing
in
live service going to be
Aliens,
delivering more chapters.
where it was like a
Chapter 2 has
drug
already
addict
been
and
recorded
couldn't.
with Casper. But we'll be able
Yeah, I
to
like
continue
his
the
movies.
story
It's good too.
through more free DLC that comes out later.
Cool, and it's also like 16-player co-op.
No, that is a single player,
Single
but
player
4-player
version. Okay.
squad.
Gotcha,
Essentially,
gotcha.
you're an elite special operations group that are, Casper, the general, has kind of commanded you and cherry-picked you as the best of the best to go out and deliver these special
Maybe
missions.
Starship
So
Troopers
this
will be a
has
shoe
also
bug
been in
game
early
again
access for
a
quite a while.
Yeah, since May of last year.
Yeah, which is awesome, and obviously, like you've got some extremely active Starship Troopers fans around. Some of them just hanging out on stage with us. What's some of the feedback you've gotten from early access, and what's the community brought to the table?
Yeah, I think people have really appreciated our obvious love of the franchise and wanting to put as much of what you see in the movie into the game. I think the particularly unique selling points of the game have obviously been the 16-player element. I think horde shooters, it's a super popular genre,
Casper Van Dien has
but
nothing
no one's
to say.
doing
He's just
that
looking
kind of
down.
16-player element.
Yeah.
I think other games always treat you as the hero.
I'm surprised that he
Make
didn't mention
a
Helldivers
difference
too,
by
even though he
yourself.
like.
But with 16 players,
I think
you
he
have to
vaguely
team
hinted
up,
at
you
like,
have to
oh,
work together.
there
So the
no
unique
other
roles
game
that you
does this
play
kind
in
of
that
thing.
Squad, and taken from our studio's experience with Squad, our other game, which is a 100-player game, we've really
He hasn't
tried
played a
to
game
elevate
since,
that
like,
element of teamwork and
1985.
coordination.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. What they do is they make it. They even benefit. You get perks
he's
if
been
you help other
streaming.
people, if you're trying to help other troopers out.
Van
I mean,
Dien's a
they've
streamer
been
now.
very thoughtful.
He's a
in
streamer.
this,
Huh? Let me look that up.
It's incredible. I go out and I play all all the
Yeah,
time.
you've been streaming the game yourself, yeah.
I've been streaming it and also just going out and
Yeah, okay, he has a
streaming it
Twitter
by
account.
myself, just
See.
going out and I go as General J Rico, and people are like, "Wait a minute, you sound like the guy from the movie," and I go, "I am," and they're like, "No way!"
Yeah, great for random players to just. I recognize that voice from somewhere.
Yeah,
That's so cool. Now, Casper, I gotta ask. There's a lot of bugs in the game. Do you have a particular favorite in the game, or just the general Starship Troopers?
Of course, I love killing the warrior bugs. I love that new Tiger Warrior bug, and the tanker bug has always been my nemesis. So that's been my thing. So I am so excited that this has been revealed. I've been
Actually,
wanting to
I
talk
think
about
he's
it. I've been wanting to
legitimately
see it, and
geeking
I'm
out,
wanting to
and
play it.
I find this
And
endearing.
you can get on top
Yeah,
of this
he
bug
does that in the
and you can blow
Helldivers
it
2
up.
video, so it's really
Yeah,
nice.
you can climb on it. Yeah, that's
Do we have another Henry
More
Cavill?
than one
Oh my
person
god.
can. But I also love that they have carnage, so that the bugs start piling up here and they don't disappear. You have to deal with the carnage as it comes. It's incredible. So the bugs pile up and they can crawl over and get in, but you can also crawl up
Let me
on
see
them.
if I can
You
find
blow 'em
if
up,
he has
you
a
go
Twitch
through
or
'em. I mean,
something.
it's
Let's see.
incredible. And they
Oh, I'm
don't
checking
you
his
go away
Twitter.
and you come back. All those bodies are still there. They don't disappear when you kill them.
That is disgusting. That's just awful. I love it. I'm very into it. I guess I'm just sort of. Can you give us an idea where we're at with the single player story? Like, what's sort of what's at stake?
He was
Where does this
Johnny
fall
Cage
into
in Mortal Kombat
general
Legacy.
canon?
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to reveal too much because obviously
He's
there's,
their general
a narrative
now
and
in
kind of
the
spoiler
game.
territory if I give
General
too much.
Rico.
General Rico, who's now
That's
General
great.
again.
I actually like
and
that.
he's got a kind of
Yeah,
antagonistic
the
relationship
timeline
with
has
the rest of
moved from the
Command.
movies.
But essentially, he's
What was his rank in Traitor of Mars? Let me see.
to kind of deliver some secret, not so secret missions.
Yeah, like I remember when he came back for like.
He's
I
a
think it's the
colonel.
third-
He-
I think I remember.
So in the
when
last
he-
movie, he's a colonel.
So that you can.
Yeah, he
you
came
can-
back
you
in
can
like
move up in the game.
Marauder. I
It
think
also
it was the
gives
third
you-
one. Yeah, he came
it's
back,
incredible.
and that's when
I
they
haven't
introduced the
seen it
power
yet.
armor.
I've only done the voice for it. I've heard
Yeah, and
what they've
then
said.
he came back for the
Yeah,
like
go
the
take a
last
look at it
animated
today.
movie, and
Yeah,
he's a
but it's
colonel in that
important
one.
to
So
allow people to have their troopers
be
experience
so cool
by
to have,
themselves
like,
if they want. But also,
a-
I think
a
for a lot of people to get
high-budget
them ready
live
for
action
multiplayer, which can be intimidating.
sequel
I think for a
to
lot of people, they want to play the single
fucking,
player. They want to feel like they can do their part and not
to like
be the
they
sore
will
thumb
have a
that sticks
sequel
out.
to a live action one, but like
Yeah, you like that.
just
You
play
keep picking
into
up what
how
I'm dropping
cool
down. Yeah.
the first
How
one was,
chaotic does it
and
get
give
when
me
you've
the
got
power
16
armor.
people just running around? Is it just
Yeah, I think that's the thing when you first started is literally like herding cats kind of thing. But towards the end, I mean,
Still
especially
yapping
with the
about
high
Diablo.
difficulties, everyone kind of knows
I've-
what to do.
I've-
They
I've-
know
I
I
their
just
part. And
realized
the
those aren't
engineers-
statues;
whatever
those are
role
actual
you're doing,
people
everyone
standing
knows what
behind
the
them.
medics do, the snipers do, what the engineers do.
Yeah,
I didn't even notice. I thought they were just mannequins.
I've been going out just playing,
No.
and I'm like a newbie again.
This is
So
like
I'm
Honor Guard.
totally a noob, which is incredible because I was
It must be
an
that
OG
good,
in
huh?
the old days, but now I'm a noob again. But I've been playing, and when I'm playing, sometimes you get, you have to have your medic, you have to have engineers, you have to have a ranger, you have to have a sniper, you have to have all the different people. If you get a whole team together and they all work together, cohesiveness, you can be successful. I had an incredible game I played with all these random people, and we were just playing. Like, I can't believe you're
That's the
here.
best,
And I just went in with these people that knew what they were doing. The engineers built an incredible base. They had all these things.
The longer
You
this
get all
interview goes on, the more I'm like,
material you
okay,
need to
yeah,
get to,
he's
you know,
another Henry
Yeah.
Cavill.
to build
He's
and
kinda
get the
selling me
weapons
on
and
it.
get everything up, and then you go out and you
Yeah,
kill the bugs.
he has
the hordes
big like
come, you
your
kill 'em,
uncle
and then you have
just
to get
got divorced
extracted.
and is
It's
playing video
incredible.
games
I love
for
it.
20
Everybody's
hours
gotta
a
do
day
their part.
now that he has time and energy.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for
Yeah,
coming
thank
by.
Thanks
Thank
for having
you.
us again.
Thank you for just providing backup. I love it. You can check out
Okay,
Starship Troopers Extermination
Octoberland, so it's
right
still
now
in
by
early
listing for
access,
Steam Early
okay.
Access,
Yeah,
and the full
11.
version will mobilize on PC and new gen consoles October 11th.
System Shock.
I would like to see something about the sequel. That is the free System Shock 3 is still in development.
No, it's dead, dude. It's dead.
Is it really not?
Dude, Warren Spector, he said like they're not gonna be making something like they're not gonna be making my version of System Shock 3s.
Mm-hmm.
I'll find the article. Like he was making it with the studio, and then let me see.
IGN Playlist is the best way to track your game
Yeah.
collection. Now
I
you can
need
even
to hear
import
that,
your
but-
entire
They've
Steam
released a
library
trailer out of
playlist
nowhere and it
way
just
easier than ever to review
dies.
games. Show off your collection of the world
So
and
fucking
finally chip
frustrating.
away at that massive backlog you keep meaning to get to. IGN Playlist, check it out.
When was this? This
IGN
was
Store has it all.
March
From clothes and collectibles
22.
to vinyl
Okay.
records, accessories, model kits, and action figures from the biggest and best franchises like The Legend of Zelda, Star Wars, Fallout, Dungeons and Dragons, and more. Whatever your pop
Damn, they're
culture
really
passion,
trying to
you're
fucking
guaranteed to find something
walk
you
their
love.
bullshit from their
There
store.
are new and exciting products hitting the store.
But on clearance sale. Oh wait, they're playing the same advert again. I just realized.
Dude, $40 for some fucking shitty Star Wars hot sauce.
But it's Star Wars. Get it?
Ooh. Ooh. Dude, yeah, I do love Star Wars.
It's funny how some of the best stories from Star Wars aren't even from the films.
Yeah.
I mean, I always love the games more than the movies.
And the best part, you don't even need to leave the house to go there. Just head to store.ign.com.
I also think Clone Wars is the best thing to happen to Star Wars.
Never watched it.
You deserve it.
It's it does take like 2 or 3 seasons to actually get to the good stuff, but some of the episodes like in those seasons are pretty good. But it is a slow start.
to the biggest games.
Yeah, I mean, it was ongoing when I was like a kid, but I used
Yeah, same. I caught it at Cartoon Network, and my dad was kind of worried. Like, they put up a disclaimer saying this content is not for younger viewers, and he immediately told me change the channel. Because some of the stuff in it, yeah, well, I can understand why.
For me, it
There's
was
people
just like
getting decapitated. There's like, you know, Ahsoka's outfit.
yeah, sure. For me, it was just that they like sent it like at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so I was still in school when they sent it.
Steel pin set, which you won't find anywhere else. But if you aren't at Gamescom, you can also go to store.ign.com to grab a bunch of very cool merch.
Oh, now they're doing the World of Warcraft expansion on this channel. Interesting, and not the Xbox one.
That's great.
So I think, yeah, they are going by the tweet.
Civ 7 and so much more, so stick around.
Later in the show, Stalker. Okay, yeah, Stalker's next. Let's go.
God. I have the Xbox One like in picture-in-picture in the corner, so I can see when it turns over to Stalker.
New Dark Force. Joining us today to talk about The War Within, our Associate Design Director Maria Hamilton and Associate Art Director Tina Wang from Blizzard. Welcome, folks. Hi, how's it going? Hi.
Okay, they're jumping to adverts in the Xbox stream.
It's the 10th
Those
expansion, 20 years
two
of World
Asians,
of
so
Warcraft.
someone
How do you
in the
approach
chat is like, wow, it's both
finding new
Wang and
stories,
Wong.
fresh storytelling this far in?
They were actually named that last names were Wang and
Wait, why is that an old lady? What is her
Well, I
job?
think that you know, we have had
Playing World of
as you said,
Warcraft, I
10
think, or a
expansions,
cleaning
and
lady
along
they
the
just
way,
found.
we've left hints and clues and little
She
hooks
does look
that
extremely
remain
like a
that we can
cleaning
then
lady
pick up
does.
later
What
in
is
the
her
series,
job?
and that was our
I'm
goal,
curious to know
actually,
now.
with this 20th anniversary
Is it gonna be like Skyrim Grandma, the World of
putting some
Warcraft
those
game?
threads back together,
story
and so
people.
it's going to feel pretty nostalgic
Interesting.
for some folks because we have a lot of interesting things. Quite famously, there's
Vaguely
a giant sword in
recollect her
the
from something that
desert
is
in
Blizzard has
Slithis.
done.
So it's not too hard, actually. There's lots of cool ideas. It's a deep mythology, and so we're able to easily find new stories to tell. But this
Yeah, I'm
one,
watching
this
the
was a
Xbox
real
stream. They're just showing off
combination
some
of a lot of
snow,
threads.
like
Is it challenging to find like
skiing
new
or
stakes
something.
and new
Skiing-
worlds
skiing
for
game,
different
yeah.
things, or is the lore so rich that there's just hooks
Ski free
Yeah, no,
too.
there's hooks everywhere, and we've had this whole story about Azeroth the whole time. I mean, Azeroth is in many ways our main character. The world is the main character.
Why is there a
here.
Navi
Yes, the players
dancing on the
obviously
screen?
are, but
Yeah, was that a
it's all in
troll?
service
Was
to
that a
our
troll
world.
woman?
So it's pretty easy to always find another
Have they changed
problem
the
that's
sides of the
come up.
trolls?
And in this case, it's
The trolls have
it's
always been
pretty
tall and
epic.
lanky.
I mean, it's really
Yeah, but like
enough story that we need to tell it in
maybe I
three
don't
expansions.
remember exactly how
You're
they
never short of like
Also, I should tell you guys that I might not be able to watch the whole Stalker 2 showcase. I might have to leave it. I have to leave in between.
That's fine.
You
what
do you.
led you to that decision? Like, what solidified your decision to go like subterranean? Why underground?
Oh no, this Chinese lady cannot speak English.
Really led us in that direction.
just
right?
realizing
the world
that?
soul of Azeroth, the stabbing of the world, and so this was
Oh, she
a
recovered.
location where we
She
felt
suddenly
there
became
were
better at
many
English.
cultures
Good
and
for her.
stories that we truly wanted to explore. For instance, Maria was mentioning, the threads of what we've laid in the past. And in terms of inspiration, one of the pieces that the art team takes plenty of inspiration from is what we've seen historically. For instance, in our expansion, Wrath of the Lich King, we saw, the beginning, we saw hints of the Nerubian Empire, but for
All right,
Yeah.
the
the
advert's
War
over.
Within, we thought,
Here we
how
go.
amazing would it be to show them in all their
I don't know.
Blizzard
Indiana
sold
Jones again.
Blizzard sold its
What can you
soul
tell us
to
about the new playable
Chinese
race?
a long
Yeah,
time
so
ago,
look
but I hate
really
being reminded of
incredible.
it.
They're different. They're a neutral
Dude, this
race.
Chinese
You can
woman has
play
the
them
same
as
sheen as
Horde
fucking
or Alliance. So how's that
Van
gonna be?
Dien.
Yeah, the interesting thing about the Earthen is they have been isolated from the rest of
More
sort of
sense than a
civilization
Chinese
for
phone
a
book.
terribly long time. And they were created, in fact, to take on specific tasks. They're in 3 different sort of categories. There's the machine speakers that were responsible for taking care of the great machinery
Stalker?
that sort of powers everything under Kazalgar, and probably more of the world than we know. There's the
Oh, it's Game
Oathbound who are protecting the core way, which allows you
No,
to
they're
go
still
down
showing the
to
Game Pass thing.
sort of the center of our world. And then there's the Unbound, who are the ones that have sort of begun to doubt, because it's been a long time they've been here. The Titans gave them these edicts to sort of drive their need to do these things. But they haven't seen the Titans in a very long time, and they're beginning to question and wonder. So that makes them very interesting. And then just in terms of how they look, You know, there's still that rocky, crystalline, gem-studded sort of look, which is really cool for customization. Tina knows a lot more about that part.
Oh, now it's Stalker.
And they eat gems instead of food.
There's definitely hints of their culture that we make unique to them.
Fucking
right?
idiot. Stalker's not post-apocalyptic.
They, might remineralize in these little.
To be honest, it,
really
it actually is, but for a very specific area of the world.
Yeah, but like apocalypse means the whole world.
And how that's going to make everyone's lives
I think you're just splitting hairs with
Something
this.
that we really have been leaning into this expansion is really meeting the players where they're at and seeing how they're playing.
You can see how Slavic these dude is with that lame ass
so
fucking
many
haircut.
players play multiple characters. They have alts, and we're really made this huge, engineering effort to make it so that
The stress of the war is there, but he has to keep his haircut.
characters combines together in a way that we're calling the war band.
One dude
in terms of their achievements,
has a fucking sunrise suit on.
Here we go. Okay, I gotta turn this up.
Huge
See.
quality of life improvement for everyone.
Okay, and racing ahead, because we're so short of time, I want to talk about delves. Now, these are like mini dungeons, and you can take any kind of like party, or you can play them solo. It doesn't matter what group of classes you've got with you.
Nice.
How is that going to work? Like, what's the difficulty pitched at for those?
Yeah, we're so excited because delves are, again, meeting the players where they're at.
Okay.
There's definitely this flexible group situation, right? So there's a different scaling difficulty. So you could choose different levels depending on the level of challenge that you want, and you could go in either solo or with up to 4 friends. And so this will be a way for a lot of players who historically have been, underserved with endgame progression to get their opportunity to feel like they're able to constantly progress week by week.
And they're super short, like what, 10, 15 minutes?
I think that's one of the key parts, is that we were trying to think of
Let's go,
our
gameplay.
players that don't have a big block of time to play, but they wanna jump in the game. Maybe the baby's taking a nap and they're like, oh, I have half an hour. I'm gonna go run a couple delves. And then this gives them an opportunity too. Our
This
grade
poor
now has
developer
a
is
row
just
on
about
it for
Katowski
doing
in
these
English
outdoor
level.
activities that then rewards very good quality gear. So those folks that just can't, get together with 40 of their friends, can just pop in and have this fun, and then get back to what they need to do, what life, is sort of requiring of them.
Like maybe 20 years ago when you started playing, you had all the time for raids, and now you've got 15 minutes of an evening to do a delve.
Yep.
All right, well, let's talk about raids, though. For the people who are raiding, can we talk about the major raid? It's called Nerubar, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we will find out through the course of our main story questing about a little bit of a struggle. We've seen a video that we've put out that shows how Queen Ansarak came to power.
The longer this goes
is
on,
where she
yeah, it
has-
sounds like
this is
she's
her
trying to put on
palace,
voice.
and we're gonna need to go in there and attempt to.
I have it muted, so
So it's a very
I'll
exciting
take your word for it.
raid. It's in that classic Nerubian architecture. For people that are
Yeah, I want to see the
terrified of
gunplay actually, because they
spiders,
didn't show
which
much of
there
it
are
in
many,
the showcase.
we have the option to turn on our arachnophobia
So it
mode,
looks a lot like
which
what,
turns
like the old
spiders
ones.
visually for you
Just more modern.
into crabs. But the queen doesn't change. The queen will always be the queen.
Okay, if you can handle just like one big spider, you're
yeah.
going to be okay.
Yes.
Unless you're afraid of crabs.
In which case, stick with the spiders.
She was very difficult to truly mistake for a spider. So we thought that,
Was the arachnophobia mode like based on like community feedback?
It was a
You could
mix
lean
of,
the originals, don't sell it like
even our
that,
internal
please.
developers, back when we made our original Rubians, there were a lot fewer polygons than, maybe, but now the art team creates models with such high fidelity that we thought, well, we have a lot of, crab or crab-like things in the games. We think that this is a very simple way for us to help players feel more comfortable in the world, should they choose.
Okay, final question. Who is your favorite boss?
I know people are complaining that it looks more like a console game, but I like that they are making it more accessible.
The queen is pretty awesome, but there is this one Nerubian flyer
Nothing has
boss
really changed,
who
is the
I
thing.
really like him because he also shows up in one
Yeah.
of our dungeons.
Like,
but you
what
don't
do they
really
mean?
defeat
Like,
him, but
oh,
then
you're
in the
able
raid
to
he
use
shows back
things
up.
from
So
the
there's,
ground by
not
holding
only
down X.
recognition yes,
Okay.
exactly. And there's these awesome
Don't see the
platforms,
problem.
so there's some really cool stuff going on in that fight.
All right, Maria, do you have a favorite?
Tarkov-style
Queen
eating
Ansarak.
animation.
I think it is the most amazing.
That's a
fight.
mod
I
thing.
really
That was
looking forward
always
to that.
added.
Yeah,
in
the
basically
mods
every mod.
mods had eating animations, but now they're
Yeah.
adding it for real.
How that plays out.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. World of Warcraft The War Within is out August 26th for PC and Mac. That's less than a week away, but if you need something to help pass the time until then, don't worry, there's lots more Gamescom Studio coming up right here on IGN, so stick around.
From the creators of PUBG Battlegrounds, Dark and Darker Mobile is a brand new mobile game from the developers
I like
over
his
at
like,
Krafton.
you should loot
Pioneering
because
a new
the
genre called
locations are
Extraction
beautiful.
RPG, Dark and Darker Mobile incorporates dungeon crawler elements, a battle royale mode, and a medieval low fantasy RPG experience. If that sounds right up your alley, well, then you're in luck. Dark and Darker Mobile global registration is available now and is playable not just on iOS and Android mobile devices, but also on PC
I do hope they
via
don't
Google
do
Play
like
Games.
stash thing from
Check out a
one
sneak preview
where you
of the
have
game
to
in this brand new
discover
teaser trailer.
the coordinates to a stash for it to be anything in it. Like you should be able to just go through stashes without knowing where they are from the beginning.
I think you could do that in Anomaly, if I recall.
Yeah, that's a mod and like the...
Yeah, it's a mod thing.
Yeah, because otherwise you have to know the stash before, and that's so fucking sucky because you found like a really cool hidden stash and there's nothing in it.
Yeah, I don't have the quest for it.
If they have stealth at all, that's an improvement for one, since the stealth system was completely broken.
Yeah.
Like unmodded original Shadow Chernobyl, you cannot stealth at all because it was entirely non-functional.
I mean, Shadow of Chernobyl had a lot of things. Meds kits are instant use. Okay.
They always were.
And in Call of Pripyat, like you had to like wait for a bit.
You open up it and you stick in your little injector.
Okay, so he seems like he's taking very little damage, but I wonder how this is gonna work on like the hardest difficulty, and how they're gonna handle that.
I mean, he has been down to like 10% health several times.
And I don't like how there's no damage indicator. You just see the health bar go down.
Now you get like where you're shot from indicator.
Yeah, but it's like very I barely noticed it. That's the thing.
That's fine.
IGN store has it all. From clothes and collectibles to vinyl records, accessories, model kits, and action figures from the biggest and best franchises like The Legend of Zelda, Star Wars, Fallout, Dungeons and Dragons, and more. Whatever your pop culture.
Oh, finally you can sit down at the camps and listen to the music. Best feature.
Best feature ever, yeah.
Hitting the store every week, like the Wasteland Ready.
Hopefully it's not copyright music, so it'll be friendly for the streamers.
Yeah, that's a mod thing.
Yeah.
Can't help but add like
the radio.
Yeah, they always had like so much copyright music.
Yeah, the band Kino.
Yeah, Kino is always featured. I played like Gamma or something. I mean, like 100 Rads bar, they're playing fucking Tattoo or something.
And the best part, you don't even need to leave the house to go there. Just head to store.ign.com and start shopping today. The IGN store.
The Cinefix Top 100. A list so secretive even we don't know.
Okay, regarding the original Stalker, I'm actually very surprised they decided to port it to console.
One of the movies.
I want to make money.
Talk about why it belongs and finally find out where it ranks.
Yeah, but like Stalker, it's you know it's what do you call it? Peak Slavjank. Like.
They would 100% have ported it to console if they could have gotten it stable. I think they just couldn't get it. The old ones, they couldn't get them stable for console, and probably since like GSC collapsed post Call of Pripyat, there was probably no one around to actually do it.
Yeah.
Like they could absolutely have ported it to like when the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One came out, and it would have been stable. But by that point, there was no one around to fucking run the company.
Okay, I like how you can switch the attachments like in real time
Yeah.
instead of having to go through a menu.
I really love that. I love that in Crisis. That was the first time I ever saw that system. And if someone complains about like, oh, you can put on the red dots, like, go fuck yourself. We have red dots in like 1986 at this point.
Yeah.
Superheroes are supposed to fight supervillains, but as anyone who reads comics can tell you, a lot of the time they also
Bloodsucker
fight
looks
each
cool.
other. So it was a matter of time before we got a superhero shooter that
Good.
gets iconic heroes against each
Seems
other.
correct.
Here to tell us about Marvel rivals, we've got Young Feng, Danny Ku from Marvel Games, and Liu Dingchen, who will be translating. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I wonder how much the scanners are gonna cost.
Another two
Yes.
characters being introduced that I know a lot of
I wonder
people are
how
really
many
excited for. We've got
they're gonna
Captain
be if
America
they're gonna add a
and
new.
I've seen at least four different models.
I think it's in the Bear, the Echo, and the Svarog.
The Vels detector was the best one in like the original, so I wonder what they're gonna do here now.
那基于此呢，我们去设计了它很高的一个机动能力，方便它在敌人的战场和队友的战场中间就是来回穿梭，again and again。然后其次呢，我们围绕着它的盾牌展开了丰富的一个设计。然后比如说，它可以去反弹钢铁侠的大招、格鲁特的大招，这些非常有意思的一些点。
I mean, everything I've seen looks good so far, so
会展现它的
yeah,
一个
cautiously optimistic.
去带领他的队友去冲向敌人。
Like I know some people who got the leaked build like really hated it and they said, "Oh, the Files game's gonna be shit."
So basically,
How old was the leak build is the question.
From last year, I think.
American,
Okay.
We have the core concept of I can do this all day. So we give Captain America very high mobility, so he can run into the battlefield and then come back for to his ally for more supplement. And for
I mean, it
the,
does seem
design
like
of
the
his
stashes
shield,
are
it can
lootable
reflect,
now without notice, without getting a notice.
They haven't talked about any
the,
quests yet.
Ultimate from Iron Man. Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah.
And also,
I'm kind of looking forward to just going to the same
and also,
places again with better
Captain
graphics,
America's
honestly.
Ultimate can show
Yeah, and they're gonna have like some of the buildings in the original that weren't accessible. They're gonna make those accessible.
That I really love that because I
New stuff.
through it.
So new stuff in existing areas and new areas as well. Like they like
So
just like they
like,
said, the new of everything.
They probably like having radar that was cut out of like the original and stuff.
Rivals in this
Oh, so okay, never mind.
As you can see at the trailer,
Yeah, I see they're talking about the caches.
Stop it. And he's like, no, right? Hence, they don't have a team. But Captain America gonna have a synergy with Thor. Thor blasts his electrical property on Captain America's shield, and where he can electrify his attack, basically.
Okay.
And then for Winter Soldier, he does have a team up with Rocket. So Rocket will supply him infinite ammo for a short duration of time, and he can do whatever he needs to do on the battlefield.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. That's amazing. I love that they're divided. People are gonna love that.
Oh, yeah.
So with new players and new characters, I wanted to ask, since the release is this year, when new characters do come out in each season, will players have to purchase those characters, or will they be released for free?
So we announced that all heroes are unlocked from the beginning. So it's free. Just jump in, pick your favorite heroes, and play. And that goes beyond as well. Yeah. So if new heroes get added, you just play from the get-go.
Okay, wow, yeah. So with the Battle Pass system, I think a lot of people are curious because it.
I hope we don't see another delay.
Can you go into detail as to?
We were so close to September, and then sorry, we're delaying the game.
I think it was good though.
We did some
Better to
testing
wait a
with
while
alpha,
and get
beta,
like.
and there's some response.
Because
response
first
on the
you
Battle
were
Pass.
like
I think
so
we're
close to
gonna
Space
expand
Marine
that
2,
to
and now
alpha
you're
for the players.
just like
Please look
close to
forward
Call of
it.
Duty.
We
But to be
will
fair, like
show
they're
a
two
roadmap
complete
as
different
we go
audiences.
closer
So I
to
think should be
launch
fine.
Yeah, so
I'm not
speaking
so sure
of
about
feedback
that
from
one.
The beta, what was the biggest piece of feedback you got from the players? Because we did see that balancing was kind of an issue, especially with the,
Oh, is it
season
over
bonus
already?
and
God
some
damn
things
it.
that, like Venom getting 100%
No.
Felt like it was a fucking hour of Diablo, dude.
that will be implemented for launch?
Oh, now they're doing the.
Actually, the biggest
for
piece of
disabled.
feedback coming out from beta
Did I
is
just
when
see on
is the
screen?
next beta. That's
So
the actual,
crippled
biggest
Jamaican
one.
Santa
As
Claus.
to game balancing and the
What
nature
the
of
fuck?
game development, we work with the community to kind of listen, like what they think is overpowered, what they think is underpowered, and we'll take that.
I mean, we can't fault Xbox for actually making these. Like PlayStation did as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm laughing at how he looks.
but balancing the game for the player. So we make this game for the players, and they tell us what they want to play.
Yeah, so you make it for the players, but I feel like also if you have a favorite superhero, you kind of make it for yourself, right? So is your favorite heroine in this game?
Looks like a nunchuck, the Wii nunchuck.
Yeah. I guess that was the point where you don't have to have all the buttons in one hand.
Blasphemy.
因为我们就是需要确保每一个英雄他都是足够独特且。
I mean, yeah, you can't fault them for like appealing to these guys.
I mean, I think they're just like offering the 3D print files.
I'm going to tell you, everyone.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because that was the thing. They were like the toppers on the thumbsticks. Like that's what they're advertising here.
We like every hero, and we just want.
I didn't even look at the chat. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be pretty awful.
And also. Making players feel
like
like
okay, surprisingly
embodying the
nothing. Okay, positive comments. I see.
It's almost all like Game Pass redeems. No one even talked about it.
Yeah. People are just saying, "Oh, the Xbox is doing a nice thing." I was okay. So surprisingly good. Okay, what are they talking about now? What game is this? Adamfall?
And deep cut from over 85 years of Marvel history that we can pick from.
So I guess it's. Now that they're done with Stalker, I'm just gonna switch to the main Gamescom thing.
Yeah, they're talking about that controller.
Yeah, so I guess we're done with the Xbox then.
Yeah. Now it's Marvel Watch.
I love so much that his sound design, he sings the little song as he goes into moves towards you.
Dude, this owns the shiny guy looks like a fucking magician or something. He looks like
yeah.
He looks like Egg.
I can't unsee that now. Holy shit!
Holy shit! They got Egg food, dude. Maybe this game is gonna be good then.
How a land shark that acts like a dog works in a battlefield.
Good things about it.
Which is fantastic to see.
Yeah, is it free to play or is it?
I do play.
Pretty sure it's free to play.
Do we know what kind of skins he's going to get? Like,
I might play it just to tease my friend who plays Overwatch and say like, "Oh, dude, this is way."
Right now it's closed beta and you need like an invite code or something.
Basically, Jeff can basically wear anything he wants and look.
Planned release date 6 December.
Little adorable land puppy.
Yeah.
Like he's a shark.
Yeah. So the last question: what are you the most excited for players to get their hands on with the full release?
Yeah, there's a thing about that.
The CBT. Yeah.
我们希望就是首先可以肯定啊，我们上线的时候还会有比 CBT 更多的内容，包括
CBT。
所以我们希望在
I'm kind of angry. I took like a year Chinese.
大吃一惊，就我们有很多的新英雄可以体验，
Why is the old dude talking to the young dude who then gets translated another time?
漫威的体验，而且是独属
2 different languages maybe.
All the translations.
Okay, so
yeah, the wizard is too powerful to speak directly.
More new heroes and maps.
If he speaks directly to you, your face will melt.
Exactly, you need to transfer his words of power once.
Also, we want to make
Be not afraid, said the Chinaman.
Exclusive Marvel Rivals experience to the players.
I'm just
oh
no,
the wizard can speak English.
Players, making new friends and rivals, frenemies on this. We have
the wizard asked the question to the young dude, and the young dude gets it translated from the other young dude.
I look forward to that.
I was going to say, a lot of my friends that I played with, we are now enemies. So there's that whole experience. But thank you so much for adding Jeff.
All right, what are they showing off next?
Thank you.
Now, Jeff the Landshark and everyone else will be releasing.
I kind of hope they do a stalker thing as well, maybe.
Xbox and PC, so you really don't have to wait
I
long.
don't know. They already did it on Xbox.
Maybe they have like a different trailer or something.
Okay, because I'm looking at the Xbox suite, so it's Adamfall, then Starfield, then Age of Mythology. If you want to stick around for that. And then Overwatch 2, Forza Horizon, Dragon Ball, Dustborn, and more.
Hello and welcome to IGN
Here's what's
here
in
at Gamescom.
more.
Matt and I have just seen a hands-off demo of Dying Light: The
now
Beast,
it's Dying Light,
which was recently revealed at ONL last
night.
Now,
oh,
we got
interesting.
about 30 minutes of game time.
Yeah.
didn't see a whole lot, but I guess the first thing that they mentioned was
free
it was
DLC.
actually originally a DLC pack for Dying Light 2.
Yeah, so much so that actually if you own the Dying Light 2 Ultimate Edition, this game is going to be free for you. So it was going to be a DLC, and then they had like a massive leak, which meant that all the narrative kind of got spoiled for a lot of people. So they were like, what we're going to do is we're going to completely change what this is. We're going to go back to the start, and we're going to make a whole new DLC that then turned into a standalone game. And that's what the Beast is. And it kind of, if you're a Dying Light fan, it goes right back to the start of the story in some respects.
Yeah, so it's a return of
Vampire
the
the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 has been delayed again.
held
Thank
captive
God.
by the Baron for the last 10 years.
Just count.
Delayed to the
but he's
first half of
escaped.
2025.
But he is now the Beast.
That's
that
gonna
means
be
he's
so
got
fucking bad,
superpowers, which we'll touch on a
Yeah.
little bit later. But for the first part of the demo, it was very much like Dying Light, business as usual, parkouring across the city as the sun was slowly setting in the evening.
Yeah, so you're definitely not the character that you were in Dying Light 2, and that means there are slight differences. So Dying Light 2, it's parkour, very much made use of kind of like a paraglider. They didn't show anything like this. I think you will be completely, I say boots on the ground, but the boots quite often aren't on the ground in parkour. But also when kind of like it came to night, there was no suggestion that you're infected and you can only stay out at night for a certain amount of time. There was no immunity meter. So I think at night, it's kind of like, just do as much as you want. Just make sure you don't get spotted. Because as is the typical thing for Dying Light, when the lights go out, everything gets much harder.
Yeah, so we got a glimpse of one of the sort of superpowers that you have. And it's almost like, I guess, X-ray. So if you sit still, crouch down, you can see where the enemies are moving around. And that means, like, when you've got some of the really bad freaks that you want to avoid, it makes it a lot easier. But then one of the things that you very quickly did, you find solace in the
Dying
safe
Light is
houses
just doing
that are
nothing
dotted
for me.
around the map. Obviously, it's an open world
Same.
game, so you got to go and find those. And there were some simple puzzles to kind of get that up and running. You had to find the power fuse to make sure there was energy, which powered the UV rays, because the UV rays keeps the infected away. So that was pretty basic stuff. That
I
we've
think I'll
seen
head
in
off
Dying
here
Light
because
before. And
we
then the
came for
next
Stalker
day,
2,
when
we
it
got
was
Stalker
morning,
2, but if
we
there's
woke
anything
up,
else
and
interesting, if you're
I
sticking
thought it
around,
looked
then
quite
just
different. It's a very rural
you know,
area
pick me and let me
compared to
know.
what we've seen in
I'm
previous
here.
Dying
I'm
Lights.
here as long as
Yeah,
it's
kind
here
of like,
streaming, so it's
Dying
gonna be
Light
all
2
day.
was,
Alright then, you guys.
very
Have
much
a good one.
set in,
Later.
you started in Old Town and you moved into New Town, and that, whilst it was
Later.
set in Europe, had kind of very elements of old European towns into more modern architecture. There were skyscrapers, whereas it's sort of set in a rural village. There's a lot more kind of trees. There's a railway track that runs into that village. So it does feel more kind of like on
I
the
feel like I
outskirts of
should have liked
civilization,
Dying
which
Light, but
will
it
obviously
just
impact
never did
what
anything for me.
parkour elements that we can use. Hopefully not too much. I'm hoping there's still plenty of
No, the whole
rooftops to run
parkour
around.
thing isn't
Certainly
interesting
seem
to
like
me.
it. But yeah, it has
Oh,
a
I mean,
different
like
vibe to
aesthetic,
that
you know, like
environment than what
zombie
Dying Light 2
survival.
is.
As much as
And
they're
so
overdone,
shortly
I
after,
still have a
basically
soft
what
spot for that.
the goal of this very early mission was to go and find the Baron, who is hiding out
Kinda-
in a factory on the outskirts of town.
Isn't
You
it
get
like
there and there is-
almost the
there's
same as
there are a
Dead
lot of
Island
guards.
Dying Light games?
And up
Except
until
you can
this point, the game
parkour
has very much
in
been
Dying Light.
play stealth.
Yeah.
And you take it easy because you're
I
massively
want to say
outnumbered.
yes.
But it very quickly turns
Because there was like
you take
one of my
the guys
friends
out,
liked
you
Dying
grab
Light.
his assault rifle,
We had
and
such
then it
I had such
basically
trouble
became a
figuring
shooter.
out what the game it
this
was
is-
because
it's quite
I like
unusual
imagined a
direction.
whole
So
Dying Light game
Dying
that
Light
didn't
2 fans
exist.
will know that earlier this year they
So
did the
I
Firearms
never knew
update,
what Dying
which
Light
brought a
was
variety
because I
of
thought it was a
actual
different
kind of
game
like,
that
you know,
isn't a
gun
real
weapons
game.
into the game.
So I
Yeah.
never
So
ended up
those
playing
you'll
it
be quite
because
familiar with the
I had
guns that are
dismissed
in
the
this-
fake
this
game in
version
my
of
head.
Dying Light. But yeah, I'd say about
Nah,
half
I'm
of the
with-
demo that we watched. It wasn't the
Okay,
melee
I forget
kind of
Buddy's
focused
name,
zombie
but
killing game that we're used
the
to with Dying
eponymous
Light.
chat
This was a
isn't that
shooter.
rising
They
more of
promised
a
that it's not
kill
turned into a full-bore shooter,
mass zombies?
but
Yeah, it's
what they
kind
were
of like
showing was
a zombie
full-bore
beat 'em up.
shooter, and
If I'm being
not
honest.
a bad-looking one by any means.
There was a whole section where you're clearing
I was
out the
thinking about
inside
Dead
of this
Island.
factory against half a dozen guards. Where you've got
So
a
much
shotgun,
dead.
you've got
Too
an
many
assault
deads.
rifle, you've got
They're all just
grenades,
merging into my
and
head.
that's very different.
Because you remember
the
that
crunchy
one had
melee
the
combat
trailer
is
was really
still there.
emotional and then
It
ended
feels
up
very
being
much
like
still like
kind of a
Dying
jokey
Light,
game.
but
Yeah.
once you've got a gun, there's no limit on ammo really, or there didn't seem to be.
Yeah, they ran out of ammo by the end of the demo, but within all of the scenarios they were showing us, ammo didn't seem
went
to
saw
be a
like Dying
problem
Light
in the
2
way
in,
that...
like,
I would have
Just like
assumed
the
it would be for a Dying
JP
Light, but also
HoloLive show
all of
was
the
played
enemies
Dying
had
Light 2
guns,
and
so
looked
we're
so
shifting
fucking
from a
boring.
game where you've got zombies that don't
It was
shoot
just
you
like,
because they're
oh,
brain dead,
reinforce
and there were kind
your
of
iron
like
pipe.
you going up against kind of rebel groups
Beat
and sort of
zombies in the head with
scavengers,
the iron
and
pipe.
they
Get a
might
better
have
iron
had
pipe.
kind of
It's
some
like, wow.
intelligence to use guns, but you're going up against the Baron's actual armed forces, which means that all of the encounter design is suddenly very, very different. And as I say, like, seem to be not a bad shooter. I don't know what those guns feel like because we've not played it, but I would hope that those encounters felt as solid as the melee did.
And it definitely feels like, it was all building up to the final encounter, which is against
Isn't
the
this
new
Behemoth
strain of the
boss just a
Freightstorm,
tank from
the
Left 4 Dead?
Behemoth. Is this huge guy with
Yeah, there's only so many
mega
ways you
muscles.
can skin a
He
cat.
can throw cars, he can throw rocks.
Yeah.
He does a ground pound that shoots across the floor. And at that point, well, you've got a few guns, a few, clips of ammo, but that's, I guess, when the beast finally comes into play. And so, we sat through a 30-minute demo, and in the final 5 minutes, we finally got to see an idea of what the beast actually is.
And I guess it's almost that there's a slight Bruce Banner of it, I suppose. Like, the Behemoth was very Hulk-like. It was doing Hulk smashes. And the guns were reasonably effective, but once they'd run out of ammunition, melee attacks weren't doing anything. So you can unleash the beast. Now, in Dying Light 2, your character was infected and did have beast-like powers, but they only triggered at certain story moments. It seems to me that you can trigger the beast at any time you want this time. I guess provided you built up a meter or something, but they were very familiar attacks in that you could ground pound and that will create a shockwave. You could strike out with your hands. They even showed him picking up a concrete
If they
block
say
and
the beast
hurling it
one more
at the
time, I'm going to
Behemoth.
start referring to
And
my
that
dick
obviously
as
seemed
the
to be
beast.
much more effective than any assault rifle ever was going to be against this guy.
And I guess the crowning moment was when he finally tore the head off
My
of the
beast has been triggered.
and that was the end of the demo. I came away thinking, well, it's more Dying Light.
Yep.
It looks good, but ultimately, it's all about how good that gunplay feels, because it looks like that's such a big
The
focus this
beast.
time.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how much they've said that it's not going to turn into a gun game. What they showed us suggests that guns are much, much more key and integral to the game.
The beast, yep,
than they
one
were
more beast.
before. And if all of that works, if the encounter design
That was
is
the last
good,
beast.
then this
Okay.
could be an interesting spin on Dying Light. I hope it is.
So that's everything that we know about Dying Light the Beast. For everything else Gamescom, keep it locked right here at IGN.
Dimensionals.
Get ready for the next ambitious video game, Dimensionals, a fast-paced RPG that delivers roguelike replayability with action-packed tactics. Collect heroes, level them up, and build a party of 3 to fight bosses throughout different dimensions. Equip your heroes with a diverse set of skills and watch as they come together to create a barrage of attacks and combos. Told in the style of voice-acted comic book
God damn
cutscenes,
it.
experience the rush as you fight your way through dimensions to save the multiverse. Want a better idea of the game?
We're going to have
Check out
many
this trailer
buzzwords.
and
We have
dive
already
into
had
the
the
world of Dimensionals,
ESG environment
launching on all
buzzwords. I'm sure we're going to be getting more of those too.
2025 with early access this November.
Maybe
on
like a
Steam.
partner thing or something.
Yeah.
I kind of hope they like stick to the fucking booth or whatever. I think the UN's environment sheet had a booth somewhere in Gamescom.
Well, there was that segment yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I looked at like the vendors and shit. I think they have a booth somewhere. Dimensionals is like a JRPG, okay.
Strategize to make insane combos. Watch out, because Ragnarok's world-crushing bosses are no joke.
I really don't like the art style of this.
I want to like it, I really do, but it's gotcha. Oh my god, he nailed it in the head.
Oh no.
He's right. This is exactly what it is.
Oh god, a JRPG gacha for like
Kids.
Is it for kids? It's like for 30-year-olds who want to watch cartoons again, I think.
I don't know, but no, I'm getting like marketing to kids vibes from that. Yeah, since he pointed it out, yeah.
Oh my god, you can like tent outside of Gamescom. They have fucking Aldi Gaming. Aldi is like one of those like low price grocery stores. They're like the rivals of Lidl. So apparently they do gaming
IGN
stuff.
Playlist is the best way to track your game
Oh,
collection.
God.
Now you can even
Aldi
import your
game.
entire
Imagine getting
Steam
the
library
Aldi
to
gaming
playlists,
keyboard.
making it easier than ever to review games,
That goes hard.
show off your collection of the world, and finally chip away at that massive backlog you keep meaning to get to. IGN Playlist, check it out.
Man, they are shilling their store hard.
Yes, they
Want
are.
the ultimate IGN experience? Check out IGN Plus. Members get exclusive deals and giveaways, ad-free browsing, unlimited tracking on IGN Maps, discounts at the IGN store and with IGN partners. And best of all, free games. Get 30 days of IGN
Well, since
Plus
commercial,
for
I'll
just
be right back.
$1. Head to
Yeah.
plus.ign.com.
Yeah, same actually. I'll also be right back. Gonna be
IGN
silent
has the
stream
most
for a while.
thorough, easy to use, and high-tech maps out there. IGN maps load faster with more markers than ever and are built for your phone as your constant companion to the biggest games. So start checking off markers for the game you are playing today. Can't find that final collectible you're missing? IGN strategy guides and interactive maps are here to help. IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and best of all, free. You can even track your progress with interactive checklists so you know you reached that 100% completion. IGN has the very best, most complete, and accurate guides. Every guide is tested and verified for you by experts. Just search for IGN when you search for guides.
Where are the video games?
We still commercials?
Next
No,
year,
it's Obsidian
Avowed
now.
is turning players loose in a whole new corner
Ah.
of the Pillars of Eternity universe.
It's Pillars of
Is what's
Eternity.
waiting
Oh,
for us
Pillars
in the
of
Living
Eternity.
Lands is game director Carrie Patel from Obsidian. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so the first thing that jumps out to me about this game is we've gotten a lot of open world fantasy games, and a lot of them for a long time were very sort of sepia toned, you know, a lot of browns and ochres, but this has major splashes of color everywhere. I love it. What
Did you ever
sort of
play
inspired
Pillars
this
of
art
Eternity?
direction? Because it feels like high fantasy.
Yeah, so big props to our
I don't
project's
remember
art
which
director
one of
Matt
the
Hansen.
Obsidian RPGs that is.
Color,
What the
vibrancy
fuck?
is
It's
super
a
important to him,
first-person
and it also really brings to life the fantasy of the Living
action
Lands.
game?
And the lore of
What
the Living
the
Lands throughout
hell?
Pillars is it's this kind of larger than life frontier island where you've got all these different biomes.
Oh my god,
and
this might be
monsters and
interesting
kind of
actually.
never before seen sights, and a
This
place
might be
that
like
has to
this
be
is a fucking
that sort of 70s album cover.
Yeah,
Dark Messiah like.
Yeah, I just want to point out also
What the fuck? I had no idea about this game.
really selling.
I'm okay with this.
Wait till you try
Yeah,
dual
this
pistols.
might actually be fun. What
Oh,
the fuck?
Yeah, it's so fast. I love it. So you were talking about the breathing world, and for me, I love exploration, but I also love storylines. So I wanted to ask, how many different endings
Okay.
are there in
I was not
Ooh.
expecting to care
Okay,
about
that
this
is
video game.
very hard to say. I can tell you that our ending
The
slash
dark,
number
the dark horse of this, if you will.
and you can end up with a lot
Yeah.
of different combinations of them.
Yeah,
I mean, this is an
I
Obsidian
don't
game,
think I've
so
heard
your
of this
ending is
before.
really the sum total of your choices across the game, across a lot of pieces of content, depending on what you encountered and what you did when you found it.
So no pressure.
No pressure.
Yeah. So I mean, this feels like something that is specifically designed.
I
to be
didn't
experienced
think
in
I would care about
multitudes
an
of ways
Obsidian
and
game in
replayed over and over.
the year 2024.
Is that
but
something
here
you're
I
looking
am.
for players to do? Just like playing this game repeatedly over.
Yeah,
and
but I
over
mean,
with
like
completely
honestly, I
different
thought they were kind of
variants,
over when
deviations
like
and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Avalon
we've
left
built
and
our
everything, but
gameplay around,
this
giving you a
actually
lot
looks
of
like it might be
options for
fun.
how you approach combat, how you build out your character. You can, choose one of your classic, fighter, rogue, wizard, fantasy archetypes, or you can choose something where you mix and match styles, you mix and match weapons. There's a lot of freedom in how you progress, and you can really build whatever kind of character you want to play. And in terms of the storyline, there are really a lot of choices to be made too about kind of where your true loyalties lie, kind of who your allegiance is with in the end game. And so we're really excited to see players explore those possibilities and just build their own story.
So I'm definitely very new to the Pillars of Eternity universe. Will this be very beginner friendly to kind of maybe spark their interest to research
I should
more
go
about
check this
that
game out.
universe?
Absolutely. So we're expecting that a lot of players are going to come to Avowed as their first game set in the world of Aora. So for players who are returning Pillars fans, there's certainly some callbacks, references, and cameos that they'll recognize. But for players who have never set foot in the world of Aora before, they're going to have a great time too. And we've built our game to draw them into this world. And one thing you might notice in some of the dialogue is we have these lore tooltips. So if you see a highlighted term that's unfamiliar, you can press X when it pops up and get a brief explanation of what that is without interrupting the flow of the conversation.
Oh, it's like my little ebooks where I get
Exactly,
to see
yeah.
the description.
Just watching this play out here, it seems like there's a ton of different combat options and enemies. What are some of your personal favorites, Carrie?
Oh, goodness. Well, I love to hate healers because they undo all of your hard work. But some of my favorites are really the brute archetypes. They're these big, heavy hitters, which you can kind of see with the Godless Executioner that you're seeing in this run. What I love about them is they have these really big, heavy-hitting attacks, but they're also super easy to read. So it's really fun to maneuver and dodge around them, and every time they smack you, you're like, I wasn't paying attention, was I?
So you brought up rogue as a type that you can be. Can you steal from people's pockets?
There are a few dialogue options that let you do that. This isn't a game where we have a really thorough crime system, because my goodness, if you tick off everybody in the living lands, who do you have left?
I'm just listening to the interview now.
But yeah, you can make use of some of those skills.
Wait, okay. Can you actually kill a lot of the NPCs in this game? Like, I don't know if the quest NPCs are, impervious, but...
It's a totally fair question. In this game, we decided not to go with the kill everybody approach. It creates a lot of chaos and a lot of fun, but we felt we could create the game we wanted without that.
You'll have to get your aggression out elsewhere.
I know, I'm sorry. That was a very me question.
There are plenty of other things to kill, though.
Can I kill all the harmless people in the game? No, calm down.
All right.
So there are a lot of fantasy RPGs out now. There's been sort of a renaissance. What's something that you all knew you had to do to make Avowed sort of stick out and be its own thing?
So I think one thing we really wanted to do with this game is integrate the companions very closely into the experience and the story. So the companions have a whole lot of content to discover. A lot of it really is driven by the player. You can choose to stop and talk to them at party camp, or you can say, you know what, we're on my adventure and we're just going to go forward, and that's fine too. But they will all play an integral role in your story. They have skills and perspectives that'll help you understand the world and also help you get where you need to go and survive along the way.
It's awesome.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad
final
not watching the
question
Xbox
I
one
wanna
because they're
ask
doing
you said there's so many endings. Is there one canon ending?
they're doing like gay
In my
garbage.
opinion, there's never a canon ending.
Dust
It's your
Born.
experience.
Many
I
such
love
cases.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen Dustborn? It's
I
like
will go
something
out
really
there
gay.
and,
Where like
I'll be a peacemaker this
you're like a
time.
Whatever enemy gets
multiracial
so you can pretend
indie
that's the
band
one
fighting the
that
Trump
everyone thinks
government
is
or whatever.
Official canon.
Oh, fuck off.
fucking
The
lame.
one time being the main character is okay.
It's like
Well, thank you so
it's
much
one
for
of those
taking
like
time to speak with us.
it
I am
looks
very
like a parody.
excited to see Avowed later. And you can check out Avowed for yourself when it hits PC and Xbox Series X and S on February 18th. But right now, there's more Gamescom Studio on the way, so stick around.
Console games look like shit.
If only there was some sort of sign as to where
Well,
we are this morning. Jane, do you enjoy
Tend to.
Xbox?
You know I bloody do enjoy Xbox. And here we are on the Xbox booth. There's signage.
I bloody
there's
well
PC
am
games,
British.
There's mobile games. There's console games.
British.
There's your next favourite game,
Wow.
apparently, in that
looks like-
direction.
I've heard there's loads of statues, loads of photo ops in here. Probably going to make a fool of myself.
Let's do it.
You already made a fool of yourself there, fat man.
Okay, so we've split off from Simon. We're going to check out the Xbox booth. What we've got playable demos over here, photo ops on the Elder Scrolls Online Gold Road, all kinds of booths happening that way. Over here, though, we've got World of Warcraft
Here
looking
we have people being
extremely
blasted
cool.
in
There's
the face
demos
by
of the War Within
fans.
up there, but down here we've got people
Yeah.
being blasted
That's
in the face
great
by fans.
phrasing,
They're
dude.
wearing VR headsets. That looks cool. Let's go check it out. You're joining me at the World of Warcraft War Within booth here at the back of the Xbox booth at Gamescom, and we've got the
A
War Within,
World
but
of
we've also
Warcraft
got these
VR game?
incredible 4D immersive rigs. The fourth dimension is air blasters. Let's go and take a look.
That's
We have to get out of here.
surprising.
Evasive maneuvers! For Dalaran!
Okay, that's the first cringe of the day.
That was World of Warcraft Escape from Dalaran, a little taster in 4 dimensions of World of Warcraft The War Within. And if my
Oh,
hair
wow,
is
for
a mess,
VR.
if my
Make a
makeup
breakthrough.
is a mess, if I look like I might
Eh.
have motion sickness, no, only kidding, I don't have
Sea of
motion sickness.
Thieves,
Then it's
oh
because of
no.
Escape from Dalaran. It was genuinely very, very, very good, like almost theme park good. I wish you could join me here at Gamescom and try this out.
If you're going to take anything away from today, maybe you'd like to know that in German, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is Indiana Jones and the Großer Kreis. But the thing I've got my eye on here is a hat and a whip. Long-time Indiana Jones fan. Going to live out my fantasy. Do I want to say I have a fantasy with a whip? I don't know. This is a different type.
Second cringe of the stream. They're just chaining these together now. Oh, God.
As you can see,
I feel bad for this
Harrison
dude.
Ford probably
Like,
a little
he
bit
can
smaller than me,
never not
especially
look like a
when it
dwarf.
comes to head size. But do you know what?
Yeah.
I'm ready to take on the role.
You join me now at the Avowed Theatre, but we're not going into the theatre. Look how regal. Instead,
What is
we're
Avowed?
going over here to
I
the
don't
Avowed
know.
photo op. Join me now, if I may.
Camera
I'm getting
pants
the
right
nod
in
we
her
are
ass.
allowed. We're going to the Avowed photo op that we scoped out earlier because there are, my friend, swords. And, well, my build is kind of like a dual-wield microphone sword build. Now, I'm looking at them
Still
and they do
panning on
appear
her ass.
to be affixed. So
Oh my
actually,
God, camera
on
guy, I
closer
love
inspection,
you.
I'm not going to be waving any of these swords around, so what the heck, Avowed?
I'm trying to
Well,
play
here's the
my
photo op.
game, and I'm just like
Let's
the shenanigans of this
tap to begin,
cameraman.
and then agree to the privacy policy. Oh, and it's like we're there, and I'm casting. There you go, dual wield microphone magic build.
See what else we can find around here. I don't know. Oh, there's
What-
Jane.
what was
God, she is so
Avowed?
much
Can
better
we see
at this
that?
than me. Can you tell she's a professional?
Oh.
Because I'm definitely not.
Pow! I am controlling this. There you go. Game of the show.
Oh, Doom.
Game of the show. Magic. Caster. Microphone build.
Now,
And
Microsoft
6
said
statues.
this was one of the biggest, if not the biggest, booth they've ever had at Gamescom. And I think it's just like this bloody massive Doom guy in here. I've not really got anything more to say about it than it's bloody massive.
Now, I loved Space Marine 1. It was my entry into the Warhammer 40k universe. And I'm here on the Space Marine 2 booth today, joined by none other than Demetrian Titus. How you doing, Demetrian? Hang on, 1 second.
Okay. What?
I think he's doing well. I think he's ready to meet his fans here on the
As
Warhammer
a chat, why do you
40k
ship
Oh
it
my
up?
Space
God.
Marine 2 booth.
They just showed the 76 booth and didn't talk about it.
Yeah, I'm watching that right now. And that's
We've
all
been
they
all
had to
around
say
the
on that.
Xbox booth. We're bathed in the glorious green light
Like what
of
what
Xbox
positive
branding.
things can
And
they say? Not
for our
even
troubles, we
IGN
have
can lie
won
about
tokens,
76.
precious tokens. That means it's time for the claw machine. Let's go. Now, I hear you're very good at claw machines.
I mean, I shouldn't have said this, should I?
You literally said before we started filming that you're good at
I
claw
think
machines. So let's
We need
see
all
it.
4 to have one go.
With our powers combined, we're going to win a prize.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Hello.
We have got 4.
We come with tokens. There we go.
There we go.
Combined.
Do we play until we win, or do we just get one go? Just one go. That's a lot of pressure, isn't it?
Oh, the pressure. Do you want me to take this? You're going to need both hands.
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
I can do this.
All right.
I can do this. What do we go for? This
Well, you can have a ping pong ball. No, it's like a stress ball
I
or
bet
a
these are
pop
the ones
socket.
that
I'm going for like the
they've
turquoise
scammed the
one. I
grip
like the look
strength
of
like
that.
a
Maybe
This
the
is
one in the middle on
strategic.
its own.
All right.
It's kind of
Yeah,
sitting up
that's
nicely.
no grip
Okay.
strength on that fucker. Sad.
I'm not feeling good about
Oh.
that. I'm not feeling good about that at all.
Oh, no. Oh,
Is that
it's
it?
all come to nothing here on the
Ah.
Xbox stand.
Well, do you know what?
What do
You
I
get
know?
much better value on Game Pass. Well, no prizes for us, but isn't the real prize the fun we had at the Xbox booth at Gamescom?
The real prize was the friendship we forged along the way.
If you say
also.
so. I mean,
All right,
okay.
fine.
What was the best thing you did today?
I had a lovely time over on the Escape from Dalaran 4-dimensional experience. It was immersive, things blew up, and I got wind blown in my face. What more could you ask for?
I don't know. That's all I want in
Literally
life.
nothing else.
I'm
What about you?
sure
What's
I
your
think my
fave?
favorite
I'm
thing
sure
was
she has a
getting
lot of things on her
to
face
cosplay
on
as
this
Indiana
here
Jones. I looked like
convention.
an absolute fool. The hat was
They
about
did talk
4
about
times too
people
small for
being
my
blasted
head.
in the face
But
with
you know
fans,
what?
so-
Yeah.
I reckon, God forbid, when Harrison Ford passes from this immortal coil, maybe I'm next.
You're ready. Voiced by Troy Baker.
I would love to be voiced by Troy Baker.
What a good
It's better
summary.
than
It's a
this
big
voice.
booth, yes.
And speaking of which,
Yeah.
I think people
Well
are probably
done.
sick of hearing about it by now. But I've had do you know what, Jane? It's a big booth.
It's a big booth, big green booth.
You're
Civ
watching
7.
Gamescom
Okay.
2024, and we've been getting so many looks at so many cool games. But now we get to talk about the best one of all. I'm here with Ed Beach, the creative director at Firaxis Games, to discuss my personal game of the show, Civ 7.
Well, that's awesome that it's your personal game. So,
Yeah,
what more could I want?
I was telling you off screen that I just got into Civ 6 and I
Civ
have to
7. Are you
relearn
going to
Civ
fix
7, but
what happened in Civ 6?
We're trying to make it
He's like,
so it.
oh, we're gonna lower the barrier of
is a little
entry
bit
from
lower
Civ
than
6.
before.
How the
Civ
fuck did
6 could
Civ
get a
6
little
have a
dense in
high barrier
places.
of entry?
If you jumped in at the end, where
World
all
is
the
full of
expansions and
retards?
all the
Question mark?
content there, that's actually not the easiest.
Don't they
place to
remember when
start.
they made fucking
So I
Civilization
think Civ 7 might
Revolutions,
be
the one with the
just
lowest
move
barrier
you
of
wanna
entry,
make.
and nobody bought
yeah,
it because
I'm
it
really
sucked.
excited. So you
I don't think any of the developers
leading me into
between
my
the
next
games
question,
stick
which,
around.
So you've been consistently
not at
updating
this
Civ
point.
6, and there's a lot of mod support. So why is now the best time for a Civ 7?
Chat is just like,
Well,
oh
we've
my
been
god,
thinking
it's
about
Billy
Civ
Gates.
7 for quite a while. We started work on the game before the pandemic, so it's been in development quite a while. The design team had ideas that worked really well in Civ 6, but had some side effects in terms of like the game takes a really long time to play. By the time you get late in the game, there's an awful lot of cities and units and so forth to manage. And we wanted to think about that and come up with a different approach so that we could make the game more manageable, more approachable, and actually just get players all the way to the finish line more often than had been happening in previous Civ games.
Yeah,
Global
I
warming.
can't tell you
Wow,
the amount
that
of times
hasn't
I've
been
stayed
in
up till 3
Civilization
a.m.
since
playing
2.
Just one more round, you know? It's got me.
Well, they had to
So
get their
Gathering Storm and
ESG
its global
score
warming
up somehow.
mechanics were such a dynamic
I mean,
change
it has
for
been
the core gameplay.
everything
Is that
since 2.
something that's
So.
going to be implemented in Civ 7?
So we're not talking a lot yet
Okay.
about what comes after sort of the exploration age, after the Renaissance. The first age we're diving all the way into right now, and we have.
Are they
demos
legitimately
and
gonna
so
be all
forth of
gay
that.
about fucking climate change?
We're not
now?
going to forget about climate change, though. It was very
ESG score,
personally
man.
impactful. We
Still a
also
thing.
Work on that with Gathering Storm.
It's
I
gonna be
was
the
lead
same shit.
designer
It's gonna
of
be
that expansion.
desertification, like it's been
I looked
every
up a
single
lot of
time.
things about climate change, researched it, tried to. I mean, we're not a simulator type of game, but
It felt
tried to get
personally
some of the things
impactful to
right
work
in
on global
terms of
warming.
We're not a simulator type of game. Fuck off.
storms move across the globe and so
Well,
forth.
I get what he means
We
with
brought a lot
actually,
of that
though.
forward with us, and what you can see in the game right now that we're demoing with the Antiquity Age is there still are floods, there's still volcanic eruptions, we still have the storms.
Yeah, what fuck
that sweep
kind
across
game
the map.
are they?
So a lot of that Gathering Storm mechanics, ideas, whatever, that we still have those.
The original
Yeah,
four.
that's really exciting.
like,
So is
they
that
are the creator
part
of a genre,
the
basically.
crises that is being implemented into this new system?
So those are sort of adjacent, but similar.
It's such like
we
boring
have
and lame
several
thing to
different
be
crises.
irritated
the one
about,
that
but
we're
they
demoing
just
right
find the
now
most
is,
obscure
an
fucking
invasion
female
crisis, sort of
leaders just to
imagine
have a
you're the
female
Roman
leader for
Empire
the
and you've
countries
gotten
at
too
this point.
big and everyone wants a little piece of
Yeah,
your action, and so
that
those
list is running a
barbarians
little
are at
thin
your
at this
gate
point.
and knocking on down the door.
Like having
So that's
hot,
the
hot
one
set
that we're
for
demoing
Egypt is like
in the build we have
perfectly
here right now,
reasonable,
but
but
we're working on other types of crises.
yeah,
things
yes,
like,
all the fucking random
unrest
like
in your
this.
population
I
or
think
plagues,
Ethiopia
and
has a female
some of
leader
those
now, whatever.
systems
When
for
Haile
crises
Selassie is like
use the same
the
random
obvious
event
choice.
system that we use for the natural disasters.
Oh, okay. I have been very lucky and I haven't had that, so I'm going to keep crossing my fingers.
They have like Queen Christina for Sweden, who was like
Oh, great. Thank you. For
queen for 3
Thank you
years,
for
but
Sorry to
fucked
break
off
the
to
news,
Rome
but
and
it's gonna
abdicated.
happen.
Like,
I'll
wow,
prepare
great leader you
myself.
showed.
So why did you switch from the era system to the age system?
So it is part of the trying to get people to have a game that is more manageable. 4X games have the problem in general that you start with
Golden
just your
Age
first unit,
mechanics,
get one
seem a
city down, you
little
think, wow,
reworked.
this game's great, it's very manageable. When
That's
I get
fine.
tens,
Yeah.
and dozens of cities and so many units to manage, everything bogs
Like,
down. And we
I don't think
wanted
this is gonna be
to
like a
break
big
our game up
downgrade
into
from 6 or
chapters,
anything, but I think it's just gonna
very
be like
much
6
like
again.
maybe a
It's
long
like
book
disappointing
series or
and
TV
simplified
series
in
that you
bad
might
ways.
be enjoying,
I can
breaks
see that.
itself up into seasons
As I
or
say,
books.
simplify. He
So
says
we could have,
simplify
like,
on the
big
fucking stream.
traumatic
Holy
moments,
shit.
like these crises that you're
You were a
talking
gay
about,
developer this
but then
entire
also
time.
give players a chance to breathe a
hope
little
not.
bit and reset things and simplify things, and that allows you to pace the player through a long experience in a more satisfying way than just saying, oh no, it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and you just got to keep up. So it's a nice new way to tackle that problem, and we're really excited about how it's playing out.
Okay, as a new Civ player, I'm very happy to hear that. But for returning players, do you think it's still challenging enough that they'll find this new system interesting and
Well, the experience is still just as long overall. So we actually do sort of a deeper, more immersive dive into the history of each historical age than before. And some of the gameplay mechanics, we can make deeper changes to them so that they unfold differently, maybe in our antiquity age than in our exploration age. Like our trade system's different in all three ages. So I think there's plenty for people to get, dive deep in. We've recently demoed the game to a whole bunch of our community veterans. They're really excited about the possibilities and theory crafting and everything. So there's going to be plenty for everyone.
what was the best piece of feedback you got back from the community?
I think one thing we had to be really careful about
What
is
is he talking
now
about? Now that we've broken the game up in ages. It's always been broken up into ages.
You really think about who you are.
The longer this goes on, the more my
which
brain hurts.
leader and civilizations are representing you in the game, and you get a chance to make.
Okay, so you like choose.
Historical pathway. Like
They're doing. Did you ever
started
see
Rome
the
and where did Rome evolve? Maybe it
Mankind
evolved
game?
into
There was like
another
a
European civ, and that would get you to
Civilization
a
knockoff
Germany
from
or
Oh, yeah,
the guys
yeah,
behind
yeah, yeah,
Endless
yeah.
Legend. Yeah,
by the end
because
of
they
your
they did the same thing
and
where like you choose like an
like
ancestor
like
date,
historical
and then it
storytelling
evolves
immersion,
into
and
gradually
you can
over
allow
like
some
into
wackier
modern states. So if you choose
combinations,
like the
and
Germanic
some
ancestry,
of
you
our
can
fans
become
love that
Germany or
because they love
Sweden or
theory
whatever, like,
crafting.
and
I
it
wanna
moves on
mix
that way.
this with that,
Apparently,
and
they're
I'm
doing
gonna
the
be super
same thing in
overpowered
Civilization
science.
now.
But
So
we
like if you
also
choose
had
Rome,
to
you will
think
eventually
about
like
what those
become
players
France
who
or
wanted
like
the more
Spain.
historical
Huh.
pathway through our game. And so we've got the game set up so that that's the default way.
That's
that both the
interesting
human
because that
and
means
the
you get
AI
more
proceed
unique
through the
units.
game.
You get like a
And you
unique
sort of
unit
have
every
to-
era.
It's up to the player to opt into that wackier play style.
Okay, so
I
you're
kinda like that choice.
change the leaders with each age.
Yep.
What is the wackiest combination that you've seen so far?
Well, we're not talking about all the leaders and
Right,
civs that we have now, but you can do things like you can have Augustus Caesar lead India. You can have Hatshepsut of Egypt lead.
I'm a little
Rome.
interested, actually.
So some of the things do strike you as a little bit wacky, but there are really good reasons and compelling reasons to try those things out because that leader and the civ that don't normally go together might have bonuses in the same part of the game, and you just want to explore, wow, what if I get really powerful in culture or in my military strategies? And so those combinations are really compelling. Our quality assurance department, who's playing the game all the time, is like, oh, you got to try this one with that one because that's amazing. So it's great to hear that kind of stuff.
Okay,
Don't
great.
think it
I'm
would be
definitely
good,
more
but I'm interested in the
military
ages
Oh,
mechanically.
okay.
So I think I will try one of those combinations. That sounds very compelling.
That is where
Well, thank you so
our
much for speaking with me
expectations
about
are
this.
at this
I'm
point.
very excited to.
Yeah, like one
start
mechanic
a lot
looks
of wars
good.
in Civ 7 that I can't finish.
All right. Well,
It'll carry the
hopefully
game, goddammit.
It just draws you in, and you just stick with it because you want to see how it all ends and get all the way through.
Yeah, I don't think I'm the only one that has been caught by that just one more turn. So, thank you. Well, that's about the time that we have for today. I am really excited for this game. I'm probably going to go run off and play the demo real
It's
quick.
gonna be the
But
IGN
Civ
shop
7
again?
is currently slated to be released in 2025. But between now and then, stay tuned right here.
Take
for
a
more
shot every
Gamescom
time the
coverage.
IGN store.
IGN has the most thorough, easy to use, and high-tech maps out there, period. And by high-tech, we mean it. We've recently added features like personal notes that save to your IGN account, and anything you check off on a map is tracked in the guide as well. It's the perfect
It's the
system
maps.
to get to 100%. IGN maps
Oh, now
are
it's the store.
faster
Yeah,
with
of course
more
it's the store.
markers than ever and are built for your phone as your constant companion to the biggest games. So start checking off markers for the game you are playing for free at IGN Maps today.
IGN Store has it all. From clothes and collectibles to vinyl records, accessories, model kits, and action figures from the biggest and best franchises like The Legend of Zelda, Star Wars, Fallout, Dungeons and Dragons, and more. Whatever your pop culture passion, you're guaranteed to find something you love. There are new and exciting products hitting the store every week, like the Wasteland-ready Fallout Vault 33 hoodie, which pairs perfectly with the working wearable Pip-Boy. Plus, high-quality IGN Store exclusives like the powerful and spicy Star Wars Dark Side Hot Sauce by Truff. We've even got merchandise for you to rock while tuning in to the IGN show.
Was average 2024 game launch counting 2025? Oh, that's savage.
Like Cyberpunk and The Last of Us. And the best part, you don't even need to leave the house to go there.
I forgot IGN owns Humble Bumble. Fuck.
And start shopping today.
Yes.
The IGN store.
Dude. And they've done for a while as well. There's a Neopets booth at Gamescom. What the fuck?
I'm sure Pippa would be happy.
Yeah. So strange that this thing is still around.
Oh, hey, welcome back. This is Gamescom Studio live on IGN. We just got brand new looks at Avowed and Civilization 7. And guess what? There's still so much more to come.
Okay, but first, did you know Gamescom itself has been turned into a game? Gamescom Epics is an RPG built right
Does
into
Gamescom
the
have
Gamescom
to have
website that lets
its
you
own
earn
game
cool
on the
rewards
website?
and discover what
Yes.
the show has to offer. You'll solve puzzles, complete
Jeff Keighley
quests,
probably
and collect
demanded
digital
it,
trading
and
cards
thus it
along the
was.
way. Head over to
I'm like, oh, it has
Gamescom.global
trading
and look for
cards.
the Epics tab or scan the QR code on screen to begin the adventure.
Gamescom.global is also where you will find out more about the Gamescom Goes Green initiative. This year's show is running on 100%
Oh
renewable energy, and
no!
exhibitors are
Again.
doing their part by building more
VR
sustainably,
World of
reusing portions of their
Warcraft.
booths and avoiding single-use material.
Coming up next,
I was
we're
saying
checking out
again
an
to the
extremely
ESG stuff,
cool
but
World of
then
Warcraft
Okay.
4D
Yeah,
VR
before you.
experience. And after that,
But
we're talking
my
about
my
the
my
new
my,
World
my
of
outburst
Warcraft 5
applies to
where
both
the rules
things.
change every
Yeah.
And be sure to join us tomorrow for another
They
jam-packed
cut
day
them
at
off.
Gamescom Studio, starting
Just
with a
cut
closer
to World
look
of
at Indiana
Warcraft for a
Jones
second.
and the Great Circle.
But right now, here's a look at a whole new way to experience World of Warcraft that you only find at Gamescom.
Okay, yeah, I saw the cutoff.
Oh my god.
Incredible. World of Warcraft: The War Within is the newest expansion.
guess they're
in
doing,
Blizzard
like, the fucking
Entertainment's
dark elf
MMORPG
thing in,
franchise and is
World
the
of
opening
Warcraft.
chapter of the three-part World
With like
Soul
them
Saga.
living underground with
On August
spiders and shit.
26th, players will journey through never-before-seen subterranean
Actually, I think
worlds
I
filled with
understand
hidden
that
wonders and
troll
lurking
character
perils,
because the
down to
trolls
dark
are
depths of the
evolved
Nerubian
from
Empire, where the malicious harbinger of the
elves.
void is
Elves are
gathering
evolved from
arachnid forces
trolls,
to bring
so I think
Azeroth
that's like
to
an
its knees.
intermediary race.
To commemorate the release of World of Warcraft: The War Within and usher in
I-
the
I
20th
don't care enough
anniversary
to
of the
look,
game,
but I'm pretty sure
Blizzard
that's what they're
assembled
going
several
for.
teams to commission something truly special. A 4D VR experience that transports players into Azeroth and kicks off the World Soul Saga with a bang.
Oh, okay, it's about the tech behind it.
And what better way to break down Escape from Dalaran than by taking a peek behind the curtain to get an inside look with some of the people who made it all possible. Presented by World of Warcraft: The War Within.
I mean, have you ever been on like one of those like
It's a really
VR
interesting time for World
plus
of Warcraft. It's the 20th
4D
anniversary is
like
coming up. We have the World
physical
Soul
things?
Saga, Chris Metzen's back.
Never.
This is a big deal
'Cause
for us.
I
Already
was
it
at
kind of
the
the
VR
question of
zone
how do we do
Shinjuku
something
when that was
more
still
where someone
open in
can
Japan, and
experience
that was
World
one
of
of the
Warcraft,
coolest things
something that they've
ever.
always dreamed of,
Like
but they've never
VR does
gotten to
nothing
actually
for
do it in
me,
real life.
but when
Let's
you
move.
actually feel it in real life as well,
Lots
it
of people have
becomes
seen
insanely
VR. Lots
immersive.
of people have, the
Well, yeah,
live
when it has like the
technology's been around for a
feedback
while, but
and
what
like you're on
hasn't
that
been done is a
360
focus on
treadmill
a
and stuff.
single
Yeah, like I
person's
can understand that.
experience and being able to
Yeah,
control
I played
certain key
a
sensory
Votoms
modalities to drive the
combat
deepest
thing
illusion.
where you like battled each other in Votoms, and that was like one of the coolest things I've ever done. Like it felt like being inside a mecha. No, I've never actually been inside a mecha, but I imagine that's exactly how it feels like. It was so fucking sick.
on all of your senses. We have
When
the
Haka
chair
watches
I
this,
that's
guess-
when
synchronized
Haka
with
hears
the
this, he'll be so
image,
jealous.
where you get to fly on a mount,
Although,
and
dude,
mythical
it's so
flying horse
fucking cool because
invincible from
you do
Wow,
control it like
from
with both
City
your
of
hands. You know, you
Dalaran,
have like a
while
joystick in each
it's
hand,
actually
and
being
it had
destroyed.
actual feedback when you got shot, for example. Like the whole thing
We
shook.
have a number of layers that all come together
And you
to
can actually feel
allow
how
us
like
to
you
do
have
this
to pull
experience. We have
the
a marine fan
joysticks
that
like
allows you to feel the wind.
to
We
actually
also
move
have
around.
air
It was
cannons.
so
Those are
fucking cool.
basically air amplifiers that shoot puffs of air at you.
So I
And
get
then
why they're
obviously the
excited for this
platform
thing because
itself,
those
which
are
has
really
6
cool to
axes
both. Like
of motion
I imagine it's
that
really cool to
allow us
create
to
to
have
like
complete control over the way
make
the person moves.
try to make it feel
We use
real
an
for people.
incredibly high bandwidth 40 gigabit connection directly into the headset.
That's
ported
impressive.
right out of
Actually,
a
they
very
want to have
powerful
like
GPU.
120
Not only we
FPS in the
recreated
VR
every
thing because
single
that's
model
so
from the
important.
game and made it
Like that's
ultra
why
detailed. It all
home
had
VR
to
sucks
run
shit.
in 4K.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like a regular
120
computer just can't
FPS.
perform at that
we
level.
knew
Like you
going
need
in,
dedicated
the kinda
hardware for
aha
it.
moment is the tower coming down at the top of Dalaran, and then the chairs moving, and you're diving down.
This might be
in
the
this free
only
fall
interesting
going
World
into
of
the
Warcraft thing
underground
they've
sewers.
done since
That
like
is just awesome.
2011 or whatever.
Being able to
Well,
go
even
to
still,
Ashgabat,
it's
some of
less
the new
about
zones
it's
and
less
the war
about the
within,
war,
and really
the
look around
the
and see it
Warcraft,
from
and more
a whole
about
new
the tech.
perspective that you're never going to be able to do.
Yeah,
in the
more
game. It's
everything
really
else.
incredible, and I think that's the thing that I'm the most excited about.
Hopefully for people that are new to the game or people that are enthusiasts, they really feel like they got a chance to live and
I actually love
experience
seeing
3
like
minutes of what it's like to
that
be
kind of
in
like
the world
engineering
of
stuff where
Having
you're
the
like
level
actually
of
building
collaboration across
machines
Apex,
made for like
Blizzard
one
teams,
purpose.
that level of human collaboration, all focus on the
Yeah,
sole
yeah.
intent of bringing the game to life in an immersive way. I've never been a part of anything like that, and I just want to applaud all the team members in this because it takes an army to put together an experience like this.
Azeroth itself will be mine.
The fact that we managed to connect it all as one experience seamlessly just amazes me.
You know, I hope that people realize that, you know, things like these, they don't happen overnight. It's a lot of passion from a lot of people. Everyone's super passionate and committed to really delivering some amazing and magical experiences. And I really do hope that the fans get on this thing and
This is actually cool.
minds are blown, right?
Actual
That's
cool
the
feature.
dream.
We are now literally stopping this interview and heading to Germany.
We're ready to go off to Cologne, Germany, and unleash this on Gamescom. So let's go.
Be sure to check out this one-of-a-kind, groundbreaking experience, which will be at Gamescom from August
That's
22nd
so many
to
shots,
the
like the most
25th.
expensive
If you can't
mounts
check out
to
Escape
date.
from Dalaran, but still want to be part of the experience, then make sure to check out World of Warcraft: The War Within when it releases on August 26th for PC and Mac.
Is this the last thing they're gonna do?
I don't know.
Fragpunk is a 5v5
Because they had
hero
like a
shooter where
schedule,
the
and the
rules
next one
change
was
based on
tomorrow.
the luck of the draw. And here to tell us what's in the cards is Xin Chang, creative director and producer on the game,
Well,
and Jin Wei-Shi, who'll
if
be
this
interpreting.
mainstream ends, I think, yeah, the future game show has something
I've
in
never
this
seen
afternoon.
people use well, actually, we have seen a few
that
FPSs
in, like, a
use
couple of
cards
hours or
as a
something?
system, but this is
Yeah.
the one where it really relies on that. So, can you explain
Let's
the
see, it's
shard
11
card
now.
mechanic
I
and
have
why you decided to
3:30,
do that
so
route with
yeah,
your
so
game?
like
就是我们
few
之前
hours.
有见过很多，有见过一些就是有把卡牌跟 FPS 结合在一起的游戏，但是我们从来没有见过这么一款巨大的制作以及那么精良的设计。你能谈论一下关于你的在设计这个碎片卡这个 shard card system 的时候的一些灵感，还有是如何设计出来的吗？
Well, the future game thing is they're at Gamescom, but it's on their own channel, like the Xbox thing.
Yeah, sure. That's an unfortunate shortening, FGS.
我
Thanks.
为什么能想到这一点，是因为其实我本身是一个射击游戏爱好者，但同时我也是一个卡牌游戏爱好
Oh,
者。
4 hours, yeah.
我
So
一直
are
在
we
想
doing
如何
that
把
one as
这
well?
两类游
Question
戏
mark.
做一个
May as
结
well.
合，然后
Sure, I mean, yeah, we
在
get
玩
we
射
get
击
to
游戏的
risk
时候，
between
我试图去
get to
让每
really
一回合
work
变
Yeah,
得
if there's
更
if
丰富
yeah, if there's
然后
nothing
后
going
来
on
找到
in
卡牌载
between
体，
now
让
and
每一回
this,
合
I'll
通过
end
卡
stream
牌
and
去改
that'll
变
be a
这个规
separate
则。
stream.
I mean, I have to leave in 2 hours because Ami is doing ASMR, so
So the shard card
no
system
matter
is
what, I have to
very
leave by
unique
then.
because
The obligation.
it will change the
Yeah.
whole a lot of whole components.
Hosted
in the
by
games, and not just
Roger
the
Clark,
damages
Arthur
or just
Morgan, and
numbers,
Britt
but
Baron,
whole
Tifa
rules.
Lockhart.
And we believe that this is the very unique part of the Fragpunk.
Oh, that was
And
the last one.
as
That was
for
the one in
inspiration
June.
Of
Okay.
Fragpunk, of the card systems, and actually I am a very avid FPS players and card game players, so it was almost an instinct for me to combine these two together. And by doing this, I believe that I can add the randomness and varieties from the card games into the FPS gunfights.
Yeah, okay, so you play a lot of FPSs. I feel like in this, I see a lot of CSGO, Valorant, and maybe
Kinda
even a
weird
little
to
bit
end
of
with, like,
Apex with the abilities
some
the
random
characters
Chinese
have.
free-to-play
What
game.
would you say were your favorite games that
Eh, they're owned by
inspired you to
Chinese, so I'm not
make
surprised.
Punk?
I mean, have you ever heard of this game?
No.
Maybe like Uber would have, because he's like a shooter dude or whatever. But I've never nothing about this dude.
其实我们在设计 Fragpunk 的时候，灵感来源主要是什么游戏，或者说有没有参考什么游戏？
You know what? Just a random thought. You know, like the girl interviewing is like a Chinese who can't speak Chinese anymore, and the two dudes are like Chinese from China. Do you think it's really weird for them to like see a China woman who can't speak Chinese anymore? Is that really strange then? Do you think?
I think they're just happy enough to talk to a woman.
Yeah, they do have a lack of those in China.
Yeah.
Supply and demand not met. Sure.
Yeah, beggars can't be choosers.
You might be right. But I did feel that once because I met an American who was like 100% Swedish. His family was just in America. So it was really weird because I could see he was Swedish, but he couldn't speak a word of Swedish. So it was really strange, like a skinwalker or something.
Because all of our teams
It's like fake Swede.
It was like it's just wrong. Like, why can't you speak Swedish?
In designing the Fragpunk,
what
we're
are
trying
you?
to do is to provide
Outlander
an approach of our own to the competitive FPS genres. And by adding the card systems to it, we can add
Man, this game looks so fucking generic. There's just nothing to say about it.
And I believe that
It's like fucking nothing in your game.
And we would like
Yeah, it looks like Pipkin's thirsting after your wound.
Yeah, I definitely don't think it's been done to this degree before. So you speak about competitiveness. We do see that some
Well, I can't
cards
spell
give
beautiful,
a
so
very
you know,
clear advantage. How will this be balanced?
All warmed up.
This is Pipkin. Proper spelling is not expected. Appreciated, but not expected.
平衡性上面的问题，我们是要怎么解决的？
这是一个挺好的问题，这是一个非常好的问题。对，确实有些牌是比较强，有些牌比较弱，所以我们给了每张牌一个费用，一个就是你需要去投入一定的点数才能激活这张牌。强的牌它费用要求的高，然后低的牌费用要求的低。
Oh God, you're right.
所以你需要去。 这是一种策略选择。
This kind of looks like the old like /v/mock-ups of like video games UIs in 2020, where like every fucking meter everywhere.
2点激活2张稍微弱一点的牌，其实这是一种就我感觉它会达到一种平衡性，因为
Why is there a big fucking image of your character taking up so much screen real estate?
Because reasons.
Okay, I'm really glad you asked this question. It was really interesting, and in dealing with this, it is natural that the cards will have its.
Oh, this is a mobile game.
What we're doing is to give a card.
I am not in the least bit surprised. I am more angry at myself for not realizing this sooner.
Their powerfulness.
Yeah, cause I was like, oh, this weird UI design, but that's probably it. This might be like they're porting it to PC or something.
The less powerful
I can see that.
cards may cost less.
It's so fucking crazy when something is a mobile game and it's like 50 million players or something, and you've never heard of it ever.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Avatar movie kind of thing. It's like greatest, highest grossing movie of all time. Who the fuck went?
Yeah, that one is like the Avatar franchise, like a fucking cryptid or something. Like, has anyone ever seen an Avatar? Who are these people?
Exactly.
Have you ever encountered those like really crazy people who are like, I want to be a Navi. They're so beautiful. Like the people who become like Navi boos.
Okay, so
I am well aware of the concept of the Navi kin. Yes.
Yeah, that's so fucking crazy.
But now you select cards.
Cringe as fuck.
它跟瓦兰特的 CS:GO 里面的那个枪械经济系统是比较接近的嘛，只是我们这次把枪换成了卡牌。
It's
不是
like it's not with real money, but it's with let's say you get more kills in a game, you get more tokens to spend.
对，就是它是跟游戏里面的一个经济系统结合在一起的，对吗？
对，它确实是跟游戏里的行为
You have to say so many words in Chinese before you make a whole sentence. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Chinese is a very retarded language, but I'll give Chinese one thing. Their grammar is very basic. Like, the grammar is fine as fuck. It's just you have to get over the hump of being a tonal language.
Yeah, like the differences in pronunciation making different words. Sorry, that's so fucking difficult to learn. It's the same shit in Japanese.
Yeah, well, like Chinese being a tonal language, I hate that as much as like French being a tense language. It's just like it's so needlessly complicated for no reason.
I'm so fucking happy in like in the Germanic languages that we don't have to like gender every word. Because when you try to
I
learn
hate
French
that so much.
you have to place la, le, or like before every word. It's fucking crazy.
Well, for French, my two big main beefs with French is the tenses, tenses, and then the gender language. Like those are just two fucked up things.
German is so fucked up with that as well. When you have to say like something belongs to someone, and it's like via vivas, C, yes, there's two C, and it's like, how the fuck am I supposed to remember this? It's like 12 prefixes you can put in every word.
I have a soft spot for German because it's all compound words.
And those can be nice. Sometimes they're really great because like save space in a sentence.
So why we choose such a very short TTK is because we believe that the short TTK will actually give you more.
This fucking gameplay,
especially during
have they like replayed the same 20 seconds over and over again?
Probably.
We have tried the long TTKs.
Because if they haven't, I cannot see the difference what happened in the game.
It's a MOBA. It's all just same.
Yeah, this is like the shinkiest shink slop to ever existed.
同时还有一个原因是因为我们其实比较希望玩家的个人能力可以比较大的影响战局。
spending so much time on it.
如果你人比较强的话，你可以
Because
带动全队，你可以 carry 全队。
They paid a lot of money,
如果
bro.
PK 越长的话，其实这个比重会占得越小，就是你越不太可能去带领团队变。
I do like his translator. His translator is actually writing down notes so he can recreate it better. He has a great translator. Good job, Frag World.
To carry the whole team, but this was only available in the short TTK environment.
All right, well, I guess you're going to find out if you can actually be the one to clutch it. You can wishlist Fragpunk on Steam or Xbox Series right now. And stay tuned because there's more Gamescom Studio coming up. But right now,
more
let's go and check
farming
out these
games.
trailers.
Have we seen this game before? Or does it just look like 8,000 other farming adventure games?
I recognize. I don't know if we watched it, but I recognize the name.
Do that. Animal Crossing and its consequences has been a disaster for the game.
Actually, yeah, we did see this because we made that joke already.
Oh no. Is it melding together that much?
Yes. Yeah, it's coming back to me. I think I blocked that out of my memory from yesterday, but yeah, we did.
Oh no. This looks so boring. It's a good trailer.
Hey, my name is Justin Miersch, lead game and level designer for Project Z Beyond Order. Project Z is a thrilling first-person zombie shooter with robust character progression and weapon customization. Set around World War II, you will take on fast-paced missions as one of 4 survivors, each with their own unique abilities and roles in co-op. So every player can choose the character that best suits their playstyle. In Project Z, you are trying to escape the secret island Breitengrad 77, controlled by Colonel Walter, the villain in our alternative world. You start together in the Hideout, a central hub in the game where you can accept missions, buy, sell and customize weapons, as well as upgrade your character. But that's not all. You also have the option to design your hideout according to your preferences along with your friends, provided that you have found enough resources and blueprints during missions or in free roam mode. We have also put a special emphasis on adding weapons and attachments that existed as prototypes or concepts whenever possible. This gives our alternate universe a fresh twist and offers you the opportunity to constantly discover something new. Plus, it gives you a range of weapons to kill zombies with. Project Z will launch on Steam, Xbox and PlayStation, so wishlist the game today and follow our social channels for all the latest Project Z news.
This is Wild Bastards.
Are you seeing this Wild Bastard game as well?
Strategy FPS from the team here at Blue Manchu.
I'm trying to farm words.
Outlaws feature unique weapons and abilities that can.
When you see the gameplay, are they moving really fucking slowly?
Aces can be found as you explore planets, so collect them, return to your ship.
They're literally walking.
There are 3 types of aces. Charged aces that apply a specific bonus when your outlaw is rested.
Okay, this is actually the real. No, this is the real zombie game because secretly you're playing a zombie, so you can only just shamble.
The majority of aces you discover let you choose one of 3 special traits to level up your outlaw. So you might be able to leap onto roofs with Roswell.
Now, where were we?
Let's take a look at Preach. So
it's kind of sad that this is probably like a small game, so they only have like the one developer or whatever to make the voiceover. But it clearly hasn't been media trained, so it sounds so unenthusiastic about its own game.
Time, and there's a bit of spread on her fire, so you really have to concentrate on enemies to be effective. But let's see what happens when we level her up. First choice I'm going to make is Healer. So Preach is going to recover 100 health, and she's also going to give her partner 100 health after a showdown. Next, Brimstone looks great with its burning damage. Sharding, so that now she gets explosive damage as well on each of her bullets.
My brain auto-corrected that to sharting.
Yeah, I also heard sharting.
Lastly, just to focus on the damage, I'm going to go with Shooter
kind of game.
To give me 40 extra ammo.
Well, they are in Germany, so they need to cater to the market.
It took one whole day before we made a German scat joke.
I swear to God, we made that joke already yesterday.
Now that we've looked at aces,
maybe we did when we said like it was a shit game or whatever.
They will also work in combination with mods, which you collect and use per sector. In this case, I've given Preach some homing bullets and a jetpack.
That looked okay.
So, is armored in righteousness?
Oh, they're done.
Base Boys is just dressing up.
Damn, if I can't look away.
Like done?
I'm getting my boots on.
Yeah.
Well, that just about wraps us up for day 1 of Gamescom here on IGN. If you missed any of our gameplay deep dives, trailers, interviews, all that good stuff, go check out IGN.com and IGN.
Okay, well, I guess we have a break. I guess we have a break in between now
Before we
and
go, would you like to discover the contents of Gamescom and receive
Xbox is still going.
at the same time?
Yes.
Future.
All right, well then check out Gamescom Epics. Prove your nerd know-how.
I'm just refreshing the YouTube thing, see if it's still live.
Trading cards and jump from level to level until the final boss spawns. Solve all the quests and grab all the fantastic rewards. Search for Gamescom Epics or
Stalker is tomorrow. They have another Stalker thing tomorrow.
I can't wait. And if you need something to look forward to, we've got another full day of awesome video game coverage tomorrow, where we'll be sitting down with the folks behind Indiana Jones.
Hell yeah, Stalker, more Stalker, more Stalker.
On the massive new sequel, Kingdom Come Deliverance. After that, we'll be shooting across the galaxy to check in on Star Wars Outlaws, and then we're heading into the heart of Chernobyl with Stalker 2. All that and so much more right here on Gamescom Studio.
But for now, thank you all so much for watching IGN's live coverage of Gamescom 2024. We can't wait to see you back here tomorrow.
There was some interesting
that we
things, I
have,
guess.
which is we want to build the title that's in your.
Like, it looks like the Xbox stream is still going.
Store has it all. From clothes and collectibles to vinyl records.
Like, if you want to bail, that's fine. I'm just going to switch over to the Xbox One until the future one if it's still going.
Legend of Zelda, Star Wars, Fallout, Dungeons and Dragons, and more. Whatever your pop culture passion, you're guaranteed to find something
this
you love.
might be the last thing if they're at Age of Mythology.
Hitting the store every week, like the Wasteland-ready Fallout Vault 33 hoodie, which pairs perfectly with the working wearable Pip-Boy. Plus,
I'm gonna check their schedule. I think
IGN
this
store
might be the last one.
Our mythology, and so we've we've got reusable god powers, which you can actually see. We've got our approachability features like our VPS we brought in from other titles. We've got a more favor-based economy, so you can build more monsters, and our population cap is much higher now, so not only can you build more monsters, you can just build more of everything.
You add me at more monsters, I'll stop you there. It feels like a love letter, really. Everything you've learned so far, you're bringing back, and I love the idea of taking out what you see in your head and then making that version of the game. I think it's absolutely wonderful. So you mentioned a little bit about god powers, actually. I heard we have
The Chinese guy says Athena, like
Gamescom, by the way, while we're on the subject.
Yes, we have invited them to the booth, so you also can
Athena.
actually see them. We have
Look at
Athena
them.
and Zeus here in our booth, so come by, see them. Like, you can see them on screen like that.
Zeus is loose. Goodness me, where did you find that?
They
Zeus?
are amazing. That is so
nice.
cool.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness me.
Please come by. It takes a lot of work for us to invite them to the booth. So
A lot of convincing.
a
Love
lot of
it.
convincing.
Beautiful, awesome. Okay, back to the game now. Sorry, tangent. So seeing the gameplay that we just saw just then, it's really clear that the team has been hard at work on the visuals. I think you both mentioned it already.
Yes.
So what can we expect? What exactly does that mean?
So for graphics, we actually have redone every single graphics that you actually see in the
days.
game.
You've been
So
busy.
like every single 3D asset, every single animations, like effects, all of them are completely rebuilt. So just for this game, and it's amazing. The team did really good
But
work.
I'll
But
be
we
back
want to make
for,
sure that you also
future
keep the
games
flavor
now.
of the original.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Age of Mythology should be the last thing for Xbox. I'll be back for future games
Okay.
later tonight then.
All right. That sounds like a plan.
Yeah. See you for FGS then.
Later.
See ya.
But like Ernest had said earlier, sometimes when we've gone back and look at these assets in 2024, we realized that we had an image in our head that was very different than blurry pixels, wrapped around a sphere. And so we had a lot of philosophical discussions because, the dev team were all major fans of the original. So, I mean, Arcantus was a big one where we were like, would he have a dimple? Or would his chin be more square? Would he have...
I want to be in those meetings, please.
They've been really fun. It's part Rorschach test looking at some of the assets. And then it's like labor of love. And it all comes together to make that game that we remember loving and playing.
Amazing. So if I've got everything right here, so Age of Mythology retold as complete visual overhaul, updated god powers, and larger-than-life myth units. Now, small enough to keep me interested, but is there anything else that you have to share?
Yes, definitely want to say that, remind people, one of the coolest thing that we have done for here is that we are releasing on PC and Xbox with crossplay, like at the same time. We have never done that with any Age games, so it is the first time we're releasing on multiple platforms at the same time. So really happy to be able to bring the game to not only just
This
be
guy's
keyboard
accent's
mouse
really
player, but
throwing
to
me off. I
controllerless
can't
players
put my
as
finger on
well.
it.
Because the game people really remember, beloved it. We want everybody to be able to play
Absolutely.
together.
And you've had some fantastic versions on the console recently, so
Yes.
those players want to absolutely join you. Now, you also have some other really exciting things to tell us today. I know I'm really gripped for this, but what can you tell us about the Freya Gods pack?
Oh, I am so
English.
excited to be able to talk
Yes,
about this.
Here we go.
So the Freyr God Pack really is kind of like a new DLC type for us. And what we really wanted to do was offer the players a new strategy type for the Norse, which is, a beloved civilization from the Legacy game that can sometimes be very offensive in the way that it plays. And so with our Freyr God Pack, we wanted to offer a defensive skew to it. So with the Freyr God Pack, players will be getting 4 new god types featuring Freyr, who is the god of fertility and kingship.
Freyr.
And then 3
Freya.
minor gods, as well as all the things that they come with, like their myth units and their god powers.
Wow.
I think this rest of the stream is just going to be making fun of their accents.
Are you able to talk us through each one? Can we do that?
Yes.
Oh, amazing. Excellent.
So we have Uller, who is the god of archery, and his myth unit is a Draugr, which you may see in the film here. The Draugr is an awesome myth unit. He's an undead archer, and his arrows can pierce multiple targets, whatever is in his line of sight. We have Aegir, who is the god of storms, and his god power, he has a horrifying
I was like, why is my video so
everybody
pixelated?
down, and it's very frosty. And he is one of the best myth units, which is a rock giant, and if you upgrade him, he can eat buildings, and he will.
God, I love this game.
And our mythic age god is Vidar, who is the god of vengeance, very appropriate for the mythic age. And so his god power, he calls upon Fenrir, which is a mythological wolf. And Fenrir is interesting. He has a path of destruction. He'll light forests on fire, and the wolf comes up in a very scary, ghostly manner. And then his myth unit is actually my personal favorite. Another famous character from mythology, Fafnir, who is a very greedy dragon. Everywhere he goes, he leaves like a trail of poison.
Love it.
And if you slay Fafnir on the battlefield, he actually melts into a pile of gold coins.
Oh, wow.
So it's been very fun to make.
I really love how much you've fleshed out each of those. Like, yeah, that one's going to eat buildings, isn't he? Love it. So good. Wonderful.
It's amazing. I just want to do a quick reminder that Freya is going to be part of the premium edition of the game. So if you want Freya and all the both the major and minor gods, so definitely get the premium edition. And by the way, if you get the premium edition of the game, you also will be able to access the game earlier. So like the game is coming out September 4th, but like if you have the premium edition, you can start playing on August 28th, 7 days early.
Good deal to me. Love it. Awesome. So as well as choosing your god and battling across this frozen north, what other new content can we expect from the Freya Gods pack?
Yes, so with the Freya God pack, there's also a new playable level called Reagan Leaf Rally, and I won't spoil it. It's very fun. You'll get the chance to play all of the fun new myth units and god powers and techs I just mentioned. And really the best part of this level is that it does feature one of our villains from the Legacy campaign, Gargarensis, who is just a peach. And it's a great experience.
Is it literally a peach?
I'm stuck on peach there. I can't wait to unpack this.
Oh God, I just looked at the screen. Holy shit.
What
Fucking
dates? I know we spoke them a little bit, but let's go over one more time so everyone's got them written on the calendar at home.
Yep, September 4th
the
is
fuck
when
is
the
that
game
thing?
is coming out. So, but I do want to be clear that the way that we like to build our games, September 4th is
Yes,
really just
go back to the Chinese guy.
So we will continue to support the game. We'll continue to do updates, balance, listen to consumer feedback, and honestly, our players are amazing. They give us really good feedback, and then we can continue to improve the game.
Yeah.
So.
And part of that is, we have 2 new Pantheons coming with playable civilizations. And then we also have a new game mode, Arena of the Gods, which we're excited to talk about soon.
Ooh, how exciting. Well, thank you both so much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to make sure I get the pop socket. I'm going to make sure I get whatever these things you're wearing. I'm going to hunt you down. I'm going to get them. So thanks so much for stopping by. There are loads more Age of Mythology stuff going on for all types of gamers. But first things first, as Erson said, if you haven't already, make sure you pre-order Age of Mythology Retold Premium Edition to get the Freya Gods pack, 7 days early access, and so much more. You can play early from August 28th, and that is only 1 week from today. And that, my friends, is a wrap on day 1 from the Xbox Gamescom booth here in Germany. Join us tomorrow for Star Wars Outlaws, the latest chapter from Fallout 76 Milepost Zero, and then we'll dive into the most ambitious story arc that World of Warcraft has ever seen. And there's probably going to be so much more too. So until tomorrow, have a great day. Auf Wiedersehen.
Okay, so future game show. Move you over that window. Live in 3 hours. Okay. good. Yeah, so the town uses my tax money to give every house the newspapers because, like, I heard like a thump on my door. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, newspaper. Okay, where was my train of thought? Okay, yeah, so the future game show is the future. I never read the town newspaper. Anyway, so the future game show is at 3:30 Eastern. So yeah, I can't opt out of the newspaper. Let's see, so 3:30, so 11. It's 11:30 right now for me. So 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30. So 4 hours. Okay. I'll launch the next stream at 3, and we'll go from there. So the future game show is at 3:30. I'll launch at 3, a half hour before, as all these other ones, and we shall reconvene then. Okay. So for now, thanks for coming. Take it easy, and see you later.